And we are live. Hey, Concrete.
Hey, Danny girl, what's going on with you, ma?
Honey, it's Sunday. The work week is getting ready to get started. I'm hating the
Mm-hmm.
weekend's over.
Yeah, me too. I'm already like, dang. I need an extra day off. Not looking forward to work tomorrow. I'm really kind of feeling a little bit like I'm ready for the holidays.
Yes, me too. I'm really excited. My birthday is actually on Thanksgiving this year. So I
Oh,
always enjoy it because I feel
Scorpio
like it's
gang.
Christmas
Wait, no,
back to back.
you're a Scorpio? No, a Sagittarius. Duh.
Yes,
Oh yeah,
with
I should
Scorpio
know that because
tendencies.
that's. Oh yeah, okay. Okay. Well, that's exciting at least. And time is flying, so it'll be here in no time.
Now, Concrete, are
Hmm.
you going to be making Thanksgiving dinner at your house?
Yeah, I always cook, child. I don't get Thanksgivings off. So, yes, I will be making Thanksgiving dinner.
Do you do the whole meal or do you do like potluck kind of thing?
Mm, no, it's typically me and my daughters. My youngest daughter has a baking business, so I might have her do like a few of the desserts to take some of the stress off me, but I have to do my sweet potato pie. And I'll probably do like a pound cake, and then I'll have her make like two cakes. She made, oh my gosh, like let me tell you something. Right now I do this like healthy living and working out and just like watching my caloric intake, and it's so hard because she made two banana puddings. She made a eggnog banana pudding and a pumpkin flavored banana pudding with like ginger snaps.
Yeah,
It's so dangerous. I'm like, she's actually
really.
moving soon, but I'm like, it's like a struggle. Like the temptation is real. So yeah,
Okay.
she'll make the desserts. My oldest daughter is a pescatarian, so we typically don't have her make food because she'll bring like salads or stuff like that, and we like
Why
no,
y'all got that girl bringing salad?
that's what she'll bring because she like eats pretty healthy, like she'll or like tofu or soy stuff, and we like no, we want some real food,
So
so we
y'all ain't
don't.
gonna make her no seafood
Well,
dressing?
I will make. I generally will do like I'll do greens with like smoked turkey, and then I'll do greens that I put like a vegetable mix in. So I'll do like some pepperoncini peppers and some onions and different things in a green mix, and then I'll do like dressing with just cornbread. I'll get like the vegetarian. I do hers. I don't make the cornbread from scratch. I'll do like the vegetarian Jiffy mix. I make her like a pan of Jiffy cornbread with nothing but seasoning in it and veggie stock. And so, but we don't have her cook because we want food with like meat in it. So she never
Yeah,
brings it. We may
girl.
have her grab like the drinks, if anything.
Last year I was
Hmm.
when me and Curlin were basically still in our dating phase,
Hmm.
I wouldn't like really, really eat with him and his family. So
Really?
well, not at his mom's house at first, because like Curlin eats really bougie. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. So what they eating like rack of lamb and
No,
all that
no.
type of
I
stuff?
mean, they still had like everything
Soul
there,
food?
but
Was it a soul food Thanksgiving?
yeah, but they
Okay.
still do like she's healthy. She's on the healthier side.
Okay.
So with Curlin didn't eat a lot and I didn't eat a lot. And so I was starving because like I love to eat.
Yeah, child.
Child, we ended up going back to his dad's house and I was smashing food left and right. His dad was looking at me like, damn.
She hungry.
Over there trying to be cute, girl. I was
Girl, listen.
a
No,
little
ma'am.
nibble here, a little nibble there.
I'm eating. I no. The funny thing is, like on the days where I cook all day, I have like hardly any appetite by the time it's time. So I'll
Yes.
like nibble or do a small plate, which is kind of fine because what I'm planning on doing is I'm gonna juice the day before Thanksgiving and I'll juice the day after. So I'll probably try to eat, just like smaller portions and less carbs. I won't have like the mac and cheese, and I'll cut out like certain things. But
You ain't gonna eat no mac and cheese on Thanksgiving. What
I'll
is
probably
wrong
go
with
without because it'll be so
you?
much other stuff. I can eat greens and I can eat. I'll probably do. We don't eat pork, so I do like a pot roast. I'll do like a jerk, like 2 or 3 jerk salmons, and then I'll do like turkey. So I can eat, the meat and the veggies, and I have to eat dressing. I'll pick dressing over macaroni.
So what about sweet potatoes?
Yeah, I'll do the sweet potatoes. Yes, absolutely. And I'll probably
Okay.
choose one of the desserts. The desserts is what is going to catch me up. Like, what I do is typically my daughter comes and her fiance, so I'll like make them take a bunch of the food home. So I'm like, take this, try to send a bunch of stuff home with them, and then I'll probably have 1 or 2 of my friends will probably come over too.
Okay, that's good
But
stuff.
I'm excited. Okay, so wait, are you taking a dish? A fruit cake or something?
You know what? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about it, but I don't know what to bring.
What
You
about
know?
something that's unique to you? Like, do you have like any family recipes that like?
Girl, no, my mama could
Oh,
just cook. And
okay,
my grandma was she was a lick too. She could cook. She was
okay, okay, okay.
good in the kitchen, honey. So um I'm curious as to what Curlin would want me to bring because
Yeah,
like I feel like now I gotta bring something this year. And
yeah. You
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 know,
you family. You
you know what I
fam.
was gonna do? I was gonna bring like the mac and cheese, but
Mm-hmm.
like the mac and
People funny about that,
cheese.
baby. I don't know if you know how to really put your foot in it. Like, I'm just playing with you. Don't take no box macaroni over there.
Baby,
Don't take no mac and shells over there.
they can get that Kraft shells and cheese
No,
and
no,
shells all
you
day,
better, you better not do that. They gonna talk real bad
baby.
about you.
With the sliced cheese on top, they still
Look
gonna
at
go.
Curlin. He like the sweets. He talking about a cake.
No, he generally, I'm surprised he ain't talking about a salad, honey. When
Oh,
I
really?
say, girl, that thing eats a
Mhm.
bougie,
Oh my gosh.
honey,
Listen, if you bring a salad, it better have some fried chicken or something on it.
girl.
Salad with the pork chop bits. No, I'm just playing. I actually enjoy salads, but I get real creative with my salads. I'll put like almonds and strawberries and apples and
Yes.
walnuts in my salads.
I love that kind of stuff in my salad too. So
Hmm.
yeah, but
Okay.
Carlin's more of the salad person. Like
Okay. Okay.
he'll
Okay.
eat salads whenever. Then was sitting up there trying to get me fat, had me going to Waffle House every day of my life.
Oh gosh, man, listen. He
Then
was
was like,
trying it.
I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put your ass on a diet. He was like, oh yeah, salads. I can't wait. And
Ah,
I'm like, so how you over here getting me fat? What you
mm-hmm.
doing?
Talking about salads. Y'all got a wedding to be snatched for, baby.
Oh, this is also facts.
But you know what? It's
Also
the holidays. Like,
facts.
seriously, you can't. I'm not one of those people that believes in depriving myself, from celebrating or enjoying the holiday. Like, okay, that healthy living or diet or keto or whatever I'm doing will be there tomorrow. Now, I feel like, it's okay to indulge in moderation. Like, just don't overdo it.
Yeah. Shout out to Jessica X for the super sticker. Thank you,
Thank you,
Jessica.
Jessica. We
She said
appreciate
that
you.
thumbnail is killing them. Everybody is talking about our thumbnail, honey.
Oh, look,
Honey,
Danny starting some
homeboy.
mess.
Girl, that was, concrete.
Hmm. Listen. Okay, before we get off into that really quickly, just gotta kind of touch bases. So, how has your weekend been, real quick?
It was really, really good. I got a chance to go visit with my father and his family.
Good.
And me and my we all got a chance to spend some time together. So that was really, really good.
Super dope.
I stopped by the house and it was probably one of the most shocking things that I'd seen.
Oh,
So that kind of took me aback because you can see something on a picture or whatever, but
yeah.
actually going there and seeing the
Oh,
site,
yeah. That would be a little
I
too
was
much for
like,
me.
whoa.
Mm,
So other than that, it's been a pretty good weekend. Solomon had
good.
basketball practice and stuff today, so
Okay.
um,
Okay.
getting him out of the house for a little bit, and probably gonna do some working out myself.
Okay. This was the first literally chill weekend that I've had in like months. I mean, months on months. I literally kind of felt like a little at ease chilling. I'm like, okay, there's something I'm supposed to be doing. Like, I didn't really have too much planned. I just cleaned. That's just my regular everyday week. I mean, every weekend thing. And just hung out with my fiance. My daughter came over and we hung out for a little bit and cooked dinner, but like I literally felt like I was forgetting to do something because this is the first time in quite some time that I had a nice chill weekend and I enjoyed it, child.
Oh, honey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to figure out. We were trying to plan like a little getaway for my birthday,
Okay.
but we'll
Rona
see.
messing up or you don't know?
Y- We don't know.
Okay.
It's like it's so much to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like everything is not as limited. So you have a
Yeah.
lot of stuff to do, but it's not the same experience.
Oh,
Like,
right.
so that's what's kind of messing me up. But I
I
want to,
feel you.
I want to go somewhere,
Yeah, I hear
have
you.
some romantical,
Okay. I see
Mhm.
you.
So about
um
this topic.
Yeah, about this topic.
Wait a minute,
Do you
girl.
deserve a
Wait a
dime?
minute.
Wait,
Wait a
what
minute.
happened?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Girl, they done let Big Mala up in the office.
Wait, what happened?
Big Mala is up in the office, honey.
Who is Big Mala? Oh, my Mala is. Well, yeah, we can't just skip over that. Like that didn't just happen. How can we
Girl.
not address that? Listen, leave it to Black women to save the day. You hear me? Yes.
Girl, the country is
Yeah.
getting ready to go down in flames. I'm excited.
Man, I was shocked. I didn't like. I mean, after the count started, I was like, okay, yeah, this seems to be like the Dems gonna take this. But yeah. So Mama Allah, she said that's what her stepkids call her. Is going to be the next VP of the U.S.
Honey, nobody's studying Joe Biden, right? Let me tell you what
Yeah.
all
Mhm.
I seen on Facebook
Mhm.
was pictures of Big Mala in her pantsuit walking, honey. I was
Girl,
like,
listen, I
wait a
saw those pictures. Pants a little high, but no, I seen the meme of her
minute.
trying to dance,
Pantsuits
baby.
is
I was
about to be
like,
high as shit.
I saw the memes of her trying to dance, and they talking about they want her to get out there with the AKAs and step. Listen, she better
Step
not do
there,
that
girl.
to
Where she
herself.
going?
Listen, she bet not do that to herself. Don't do it.
Baby, Big
She
Mama
came out to
said
some
she up
Mary
in
J.
there.
You see her, she came out to Mary J last night, boo. She letting y'all know what it is.
Real love.
Yes.
Big Mama said we don't need no hateration up in here.
Yeah.
Baby.
In this dancery. Listen.
Big
Yes. So
Mama, baby. I was like, oh Lord.
I,
Then
I was I was pretty surprised. I mean, it's a good thing. Like for me personally, I have to admit that whoever is in office, I don't think that I'm not expecting them to go out of their way to change things for African Americans. I like literally, you got to put your money where your mouth is because I ain't buying it. I mean, it's a wonderful thing to finally in the year 2020 have a woman of color, a person of color, a woman of color, serve as the 2021 it'll be actually serve as the VP of the United States. That's a good thing, but I'm not like celebrating. I feel like it's too early to celebrate. Like the Dems have screwed us time and time again. I'm not like, oh yay. I mean, I get it that everybody wanted Trump out of office. He's xenophobic, he's racist, he hates everybody.
yeah,
But and I get that. To be honest, my views are more conservative. Period. But
yes.
I mean, I'm with it. Let's see what happens. But I'm not. I think it's too early to be celebrating.
I probably would die laughing if they did a recount
I
and
know
Trump
why my
got it.
fiance keeps saying that. He keeps saying that
Like,
like that'll be justice. Like if they do a recount,
girl, because the Dems
gotcha.
is over here, baby. They twerking on a handstand.
Mm-hmm.
Like they want, like they really want.
Yes, they turning up,
So
turning
I'm
up.
really, really curious to see like what would really happen. I do think a lot of votes are probably going to be challenged. There
Mm-hmm.
has been video evidence of um voter fraud or yeah, I think it's voter fraud.
Mm-hmm.
So there's been, a few videos on that I've seen. It's gonna be interesting to watch though.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly don't think that she's going to do anything specifically for Black people.
Mm-mm.
I just I don't see it.
Yeah, that little acknowledgement that Biden gave last night to Black folks for holding it down. That's about as much as y'all gonna get.
Yeah,
That's about it.
a high five and a pat on
Thank you, and
the ass.
keep it moving.
Thanks, thanks, honey.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not counting on them to like. I'm a skeptic, and I have every reason to be. I mean, Black women as a whole are celebrating. She's part of the Divine Nine. She a woman of color. First woman VP. So Black women are excited, and I get it. But I mean, with her track record, I'm leery. I'm side-eyeing, like, let me see what y'all gonna do. Type of energy.
Baby, because Big Mala ain't gonna do in there and get in there, but in Big Mala, honey, Big Mala is just gonna be running around in pantsuits, honey.
I'm trying to tell you, she'll be more likely to do something for Asians than she would be for us. But we'll see.
We
shall see.
But yeah, honey, they didn't let up in there. So,
well, they talking about he going to jail anyway. I would be more apt to believe that the dementia might take hold and she might end up serving as president. But we'll see how it play out. Because baby,
I don't know.
He is 78 years old, so his memory ain't as sharp as it used to be.
You know what? To be honest with you, I'm gonna be honest. When I found out he was running for president, I was actually quite disappointed for the Democrats because I was like, this is who y'all picked. I didn't think he was a great vice president, but
yeah, he was a mute for 7 years.
Yeah, I was kind of like, this is who y'all yeah. Okay.
Well, at least, and they say, at least she is exotic, though. At least the Black men got them an exotic in office. So, if nothing else, that's a reason to celebrate. I just feel like this whole country has just really gone to hell in a handbasket. Our current president got 5 kids by 3 baby mamas, 3 ex-wives, and Kamala was the mistress to a person in a position of power and political office and slept her way to the top. So
baby, she made it.
Yeah, and Biden, with that 94 crime bill and calling Black folks predators and wanting them executed, I just don't know what to do,
honey. Take cover, buy you some guns, honey.
Yeah. Make sure you stocked up.
Yeah. That's about all I can say about it. It's gonna be interesting to watch. Really, really interesting to watch, though. But I was like,
but Black men lucky though, because Black women are gonna be so mad at Black men, baby. They was already saying if Trump win, it's Black men. The whole 6% of the population, and 20% of them voted for Trump, but they were already blaming Black men. It was gonna be civil war in the Black community,
honey. And I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so the women were gonna be against the men, and what were we gonna do? Fight online like we normally do?
I guess so. Yes, Trump wives got rings first. They were bought and paid for. That's the least he could have did. So hey, what it is. He's still it's still ghetto. It's still a bad look. It's not a good look. No. But nonetheless, I'm glad you brought that up because we can't just skip past that, child. Yeah,
I was like, Big Mala girl. We got pantsuits ready, honey.
We gonna see, baby. I hope they get her a stylist. Get her somebody that can put them tracks in to get her a 32 inch.
Baby, you
32
ain't say
inch
the 32
Brazilian.
bitch.
Listen, Brazilian
Baby.
boo. Listen, hook her up, hook a sister up, because she needs a stylist bad. I'm trying to tell you. One of the
So,
AKAs, I know they own some hair salons or some boutiques that they can hook her up with. She need help.
she gonna get us some micro links, honey.
I'm trying to tell you.
Maybe some eye tips. She gonna be in
Mm-hmm.
the game, honey.
Mm-hmm.
But she gonna be a pantsuit wearing health. I can't wait. I can't
Mm-hmm.
wait. I
Ed
can't
said he
wait.
tired of hearing us talk. Wait, we ain't even talked about the topic yet. Dang, Ed. Jeez.
I
Uh,
know. Damn. It make me
we like
sick.
to run our mouths, but about the topic, child,
Mm.
we want to know what makes you think you deserve a dime. Like, what qualifies you to get a dime? We gonna talk
Concrete.
about it.
Because he make $37,000 a year.
Mm,
That qualifies him.
oh, is that the qualification? Is that the one and only sole qualification?
Yep.
Because I felt like,
$37,000 a year. That's
man,
it.
listen, because I made it. I followed the rules. I went and got my bachelor's degree. I am a success, so I feel like I should get the cream of the crop woman. I should have my pick. I should be able to have a high value woman. I should be able to choose a dime. That seems to be the mindset.
Yeah. They make their 37 a year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, most of them feel like if they make enough money and that they're a man, they
Mm-hmm.
deserve a dime.
Okay.
You don't think that qualifies them?
I don't think that. Well, I don't know that 37,000 is the mark. I guess maybe if you live in Arkansas, maybe,
Mhm.
or some rural area that
Imma need you to stay off the country, baby.
I ain't say the sip. I ain't say the sip though.
You was going.
I was, but I intentionally didn't. But maybe if they live in some rural area, some backwoods area, maybe they live, in the bayou somewhere. 37,000 is the set number, but I personally think that, these women are probably looking for someone who makes upwards of six figures plus. A dime, she probably wants you to make seven. But they are, I guess success looks different to different people. I think 37,000 ain't cutting it, but I also think that personally, um that money isn't the only determining factor at all, period.
Okay, so, wait a minute. Let me just go on time Ty City ass out
Ty
for a
City,
little
Ty City came in talking smack.
baby.
Let the dimes worry about this. You don't even qualify to be speaking.
I don't even know why
Do
he's
you even
here.
make 37?
Girl, Ty City said
He
he be
like, I
making enough
made
money to buy both of us.
3,700. I made 3,700.
We in this bitch. Baby. Woo,
Listen,
woo.
Ty City, please.
Child, Ty City say he make enough money for everything, honey. He can buy it, he can spend it.
Listen,
You ain't got no
he
money.
he cracking cards. He cracking cards. That's what he doing.
Girl, Ty City say he no scam. Ty City say he got that money.
Yeah, I
Honey.
don't believe it.
Oh.
Why you block him? Because I wanted to hear him talk smack. But
Girl, 'cause
anyways,
every time I go to Ty City channel and I be like, "Hey, I'm so zany and sweet." Ty City be hating. Girl, Ty City be
I believe
blocking me
it.
from people's channels.
Listen, I believe it. He probably the person who be blocking me from Bernard channel. But okay, so
Probably.
let's get back to
Hater.
the topic at hand. We ain't about to let him throw us off.
What makes you think you deserve a dime?
Right. And he's saying let the dimes worry about this.
No,
However,
cause y'all don't do nothing but come over here and complain about what y'all think y'all deserve.
absolutely.
And
Why y'all complaining
if
to
your
women who ain't dimes?
funny looking ass thinks you deserve a dime, then no, that's not
Listen,
what it is.
exactly. Why are y'all complaining to women who aren't dimes? But okay, so I also wanted to say that I think that we can't look past the fact that how you put it down, that's going to be one qualifier for, that's that's taboo. It's
The
taboo.
man
I
is
get it.
saying if he makes a certain amount of money, that's just what it is. He don't need that. He don't need to know how to put it down.
Listen, yeah, but isn't that where alpha, um, that alpha, I'm trying not to say it, alpha bucks, beta screws, saying comes from? So yeah, you may be making the amount of money that it takes to land a beautiful woman, but that doesn't mean that if she's not satisfied, that she's not going to be sleeping with somebody behind your back.
I mean, but the man is making over $37,000 a year, concrete. That should just guarantee everything. Like,
Listen, I'm not if you work hard, I'm not knocking your hustle. However, I think that you got to come better than that. I think that, first of all, like, we're all on social media. We know we got average chicks out here, fives, who are saying that they don't want to date a man who's making that amount of money, that say that their qualifications are stiffer than that. So what do you think a beautiful woman who is at the top of her game is going to require?
she just wants somebody to love her and treat her good.
Yeah,
She
sound good.
doesn't mind like a nice little life. They can stay in a one bedroom.
It sound good. We talk about, well, did you read the super chat?
No,
I'm
girl.
sorry. I can read it if you need me to. So Jack Spade says, I don't demand a dime. I demand a $2 bill chick. Rare and very low in circulation kind of woman. Okay, well, Jack Spade, thank you for the super chat. And it sounds good. And you know what? Actually, I believe Jack, because I was on a panel with him when he read off his insane list of demands. And Jack, that could be why you ain't found nobody yet, though. It could be one of the reasons. I'm just speculating, though.
So, okay, let me ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think unattractive men should have a certain set of standards?
I think everybody should have a certain set of standards. If you don't have a certain set of standards, that means the wino at the corner begging for 25 cents can sleep with you. If you don't have some standards, there are standards. I think that everybody should have a set of standards. We can argue.
But do you think that a certain type of man should settle for a certain type of woman?
Let's face it,
everybody's not going to get a dime. First of all, there are far and few in between.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, I feel like if a guy is a 6, he deserves a 6.
No matter how much money he made.
Where should he get a 10 when he ain't a 10?
Listen, if he ain't a 10, but he making $125K.
You make him a 10. No.
Listen, okay, so I think you bring up an interesting point. We've already determined that beautiful people are far and few between. There aren't a plethora of people that will be considered beautiful, top of, just gorgeous, beauty queens. There aren't a ton of them. So because there's a small number of them, I do think that men are attracted to physical beauty. I do think that those women are going to want the best of the best. And, you being a 6, and I don't think that qualifies you to be considered the best of the best. Yes, you may be successful in your own right, but that alone does not mean that you deserve a dime.
Okay. Shout out to my baby daddy. He says, real talk, 9 and dimes are typically more trouble than they're worth.
I've heard men say that, though. That's not a foreign concept.
Yeah, I've definitely heard men say that, but I don't know.
You think it's a lie?
Girl, I'm gonna say I think they're more trouble because they're hard to get, and they're gonna make you do stuff that dimes require. And I think
that's a good point.
I think a lot of everybody, Like women have their ways. Um,
No, I agree with Kirtland on this one. I think that dimes are going to be more demanding. I think that they're more spoiled, more entitled, that they are less likely to compromise. I think that, in addition, like they feel like I can get another you tomorrow. I can walk out this door and get another man who will take care of me. So I do think that they are going to, um, come with a lot of attitude. So I agree with that assessment.
I'm kind of thinking about this though, but I'm looking at it, okay, typically these dimes are treated great by everybody. So you treat the dime a certain way and then get mad at the dime for being dime like. Um People usually break their backs for dimes. So I'm like, if she's a dime, she's a dime. You treat her like a dime, and then they're trouble. And
Well,
I be kind of feeling like they're trouble
that's not
because they're.
dime treatment though. Like you shouldn't be acquiescing to a woman's demands, no matter how beautiful she is. Just because she's beautiful, I don't think that they deserve better treatment than someone who's not considered beautiful. But
Oh, well, see, that's a problem because pretty people,
there's
beautiful
a such thing
people,
as pretty privilege. You're
and,
saying.
and, and generally more attractive people are treated better than unattractive
You're
people.
right. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Even if you think about, people who are overweight, like let's say you're on a bus, somebody overweight gets in the seat with somebody, they're frowning up their face, they're unpleasant, whereas a beautiful
Yeah.
skinny person sits next to them, or slender or shapely, then they're more pleasant. And yes, absolutely. In our society, in reality, I guess I was being more idyllic. In reality,
Mhm.
in real life, beautiful people are treated better than people who are not beautiful, considered beautiful.
Yeah.
That's a
But
good
it
point.
kind of kills me when you have the average guy turning his nose up at the average woman. And let's just say he makes 60 a year, she makes about 30, 40 a year. She might be slightly overweight, but he's not a 10 himself, but
Mm-hmm.
he'll actually have the nerve to say that she's not good enough because she's not a dime, or she's not this, that, and the third. And what I'm trying to figure out is, okay, you make a certain amount, she makes a certain amount, she could be sweet, pleasant, whatever, but you'll actually turn your nose up at her because she's an average looking woman, because you actually think in your mind that you deserve a better woman.
Ooh, child, listen, you on to some. Okay, so the average. Well, let me ask you this: Is it because, productive, successful men um are harder to find in our society? Is it because so as a result, when a man goes to college, gets his degree, he is making $80,000, $60,000, feels like he is the cream of the crop, whereas a woman in that same capacity, we know Black women are typically more degreed, have more degrees, and are acquiring an abundance of businesses and things of that nature. So a woman making $60,000 may not feel that she is all of that, because it's stiffer competition for women. Whereas for men, you're making that amount and you feel like you've made it and you deserve the best of the best. So you wouldn't look twice at someone that would be considered your equal.
Yeah, and I find that to be absolutely ridiculous. You had said something, I can't remember. Geesh. I forget. Anywho, shout out to Tony. Let's talk. She says, my question for sisters, other than physical attraction and financial stability, what else is necessary to be considered a dime for men?
Mm.
He's gonna have to be smart. He's gonna have to take a bath and put on some clothes that were made within the last 3 to 5 years.
Oh.
Um, he's gonna have to have other interests outside
Okay, so I
of
misunderstood the question. I thought she was asking us what else do men need to consider a woman a dime, but she's asking what else do we as women need to consider a man to be a high value man, or a dime. Like, I guess it's hard for me to use that and I'm not used to using that to describe men, but I agree with what you're saying. I think that absolutely. Okay, so we talked about physical appearance, but I think that, being in shape. I know that they like to tout like statistics about Black women, 80% of Black women being overweight and this, that, and the other. But
Right.
I actually, and I'm going to try to pull it up, read an article recently that said that the margin was far more slim than the people in this space like to make it seem, that there's close to like 60% of Black women who are overweight and close to 40% of Black men who are overweight. So, being, physically fit, I think that not only being successful in whatever his career field is, but his character has a lot to do with it to me, because, you can't be a cream of the crop man if you don't, carry yourself as such, if you don't embody like certain principles that I think are
Diamond.
important to,
Right.
and yeah, dime worthy, important for me to kind of attach that label to you.
And shout out to Kenny Conjo. He says, I definitely take nines and tens in personality versus superficial looks, but don't get it twisted. Physical looks matter to for me. So I guess I'm a go-getter. I think the physical matters to everybody, but women are generally blamed for what they like. Women are blamed for the type of men that they're attracted to, but
Mm-hmm.
we notice that a lot of women are getting left behind because they aren't dimes and they're average looking women.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
But most of society is average looking. Like we talk up, we have these, not you, dear, but like in this space, I hear conversations, and it's kind of like most of society is average looking. Most of the people in the chat and ourselves would probably likely be considered average looking. Like most of society is average looking. You're looking for that diamond in the rough. You're looking for that one person who is, aesthetically pleasing to all men. And, as a result, she likely has her pick of all men. It's going to be stiff competition, and just feeling though, as though, you have amassed a certain level of success may not be the only qualifier for that woman.
Intellectual integrity, he says, so now you got to have money to get an in shape Black woman.
Who said that?
If
Like, no. No, but that's not even what anyone was implying, that you have to have money to get an in shape Black woman. Come on, like nobody said that. First of all, there are women who are average looking that are in shape. We're talking about someone who is gorgeous, beautiful, women that you don't come across every day.
Shout out to Javon 478. He says everybody's scale of what a dime is different. So this whole conversation is basically based on preferences.
That's true, Javon, but we're talking about it in a general sense. We're not saying we didn't once say this is what a dime is, talking physically. She has to have a slender nose. She has to have a waist to tail ratio of this and this. We're allowing you to use your imagination and apply whatever features you would like to qualify a dime. We're just saying someone who's gorgeous.
Yeah. Jack Spade, shout out to you. He says, my list is what it is because Eve got to work herself back into Eden. Black girl magic ain't the keys to these gates. Damn, Jack Spade, you ain't gonna let her into the garden.
Listen, Jack Spade, that's a scroll, baby. That ain't a list. Like, that is absolutely insane. This man said she got to be able to do a triathlon. She got to bike 14
He
miles a
said a
day.
triathlon.
Yes. And then, but he wants a woman like 55 plus to be able to do this, or some, like an older woman to be able to do all of these things. He had a very specific list that was kind of like, okay, yeah, good luck with that.
Wasn't he the one who? I thought Jack Spade was the one who be running around on these. Okay.
I don't know. This was like forever ago, and like on another person's channel where he was running down that list, baby, and I was like, oh my gosh, like that's insane. And he didn't seem to be very compromising with what he wanted. So that's his right. That's his right, and good luck to him out in these ATL
Yeah.
streets, baby, because it ain't easy.
Are you ready to drop the
Let's
link?
drop the link because they talking a lot of smack, baby, and I want to see what they have to say. So let's drop the link and come on up and set us straight, brothers, if we are somehow missing the mark or if you feel as though we're wrong. I
They
think that
say
you
they deserve dimes because they work hard and they deserve good looking women. Because the men feel like they look better than us.
because they work hard. I mean, I work hard too. So does that mean I deserve? I don't know, Tyson Beckford. Does that mean that I deserve?
I hope you don't deserve Tyson Bickford Concrete.
I mean, he wouldn't be my like. There's nobody that I'm really starstruck. Oh, there's one person, but there.
Girl.
I'll tell you off air, child. But like, and this is like somebody who I had a kitty crush on that just never went away. But nonetheless, working hard, it's not the only qualifier though. I think that may be some of the issue that some of the men in this space run into. Maybe because yes, you absolutely work hard and you bring it home the bacon, and you have you're successful in your career field, but you've been in this space for 5 years, questioning why you aren't able to get a dime. Could it be that you're looking over average women who
Honey,
are decent in their own right that would possibly make a good mate? We
yes.
just want to know.
She a good woman, but I don't want her.
I mean, basically.
Mm. Hey, Complex. Hey,
Hey,
Jack.
Complex. Complex coming up here to set us straight, so I'm ready.
Well, good God. Every single time I come
Well,
up here, it's
you
always like, "Are you coming up here to set it straight?" And I'm like,
you do
no, I'm
tend
just,
to set us straight. That's not a
I
bad
don't,
thing. I mean,
okay.
Complex, he be
I
setting
don't,
you straight. He don't be setting me straight.
oh, he don't set
well,
you straight, just me.
that one over there, that's a lost cause. So, no, just real quick, because it's just a perspective, right? So a dime is subjective. There is no standard for what a dime is. Right. Well, number one, I think it's bullshit to begin with, right? Because a dime isn't really worth anything anyway. It's only worth 10 cents. So how much, metaphorically speaking, how much are you actually going to put into beauty when it ultimately just fades?
Good point.
Okay.
Good point.
So, I mean, so dime, right? Once the beauty fades, what do you have left with? A bitchy attitude and somebody who's not cooperative and all the other shit. So, if you want this guy's opinion, a dime really isn't worth that much. Okay. If I had to give my own definition of what that is, that would just be a quality woman. Okay. So a quality woman,
I like it.
you're looking at something more than just physical attributes. There goes that whole sapio thing again, but I digress. It's purely subjective. And again, I also want to just make one other point, and then I'm going to go ahead and drop off. So there seems to be this fascination with salaries, and what I'm starting to find here is that the difficulty that I think a lot of people are really just kind of running into is that the approach to relationships, from my observation, is really just about it's transactional at this point, right? We're not looking at anything literally outside of like what people are quote unquote bringing to the table in like the most basic rudimentary sense. Like literally, what's your salary? Well, my salary is this. So, and then it's amazing to me. I just that's kind of why I come up here to just give observations and give my take, and then I don't really have much else to say on it. But I also wanted to relay that because I heard you guys bring up the salary thing again, and I'm like, God, dude, like the salary thing should be the last thing on your mind. That's so you do realize even if a guy made like 40K, he could be flipping cryptos right now and making a whole other stash of money, and it's
Well,
all irrelevant. So
right.
like,
And we
what?
weren't bringing it up from our personal perspective. We were talking about it in the sense of that is kind of like what a lot of the people in this space seem to rely on when they're talking about why they feel they deserve what they feel they deserve.
I know, and what I'm saying is that taking that approach, it's so basic and rudimentary. It's like it's why they keep banging their heads up against a goddamn wall. I'm like, dude, this is such a stupid position to take. Like, people can use one source of money and make a shit ton of money elsewhere. Like, wow. That's all I got to say. Wow. But just to speak on the point about the dime, though, for me, a dime is a quality woman, and that's the end of my spiel. I'm gonna go ahead and drop down.
Thank you, Complex. We appreciate you. And you always bring a different perspective or a different way of looking at things. And we enjoy you coming up. I was just giving you crap. So thank
no,
you.
yeah, y'all good. I mean, I don't really rib you guys like the way other. Yeah, I don't do all that. But hey, once again, I'm a sapiosexual male, so hey. All right, you guys have a good one.
Thank you. You too.
Shout out to Black Quizzer for the super chat. He says, "I'll be surprised if anyone goes up there and says they deserve a dime unironically."
I would like that. Would be interesting. I think that would be quite a challenge. Like, if there is a guy who's listening who feels as though they deserve a dime, please come up here and speak to us and talk to us about it, and maybe set us straight, quote unquote, if we were somehow wrong in our opening intro. Yeah, come up and chop it up with us.
Can I jump in now?
Oh, absolutely. Go ahead, Jack. And welcome to the panel.
Good afternoon, ladies.
Because I was talking about your list.
No, I'm gonna say that for last. But good afternoon, ladies. Hey, congratulations on y'all 1 year in.
Thank you.
All right, two folds. First one, dimes straight up after a couple of months, they go from that 10 or that 9 or that 8 down to about a 5. The looks fade real quick. I think a lot of the guys in the chat, they can contest that. They got that one chick, she was fine as all get up, and after a couple of months, after a couple of moments of festivity, her looks dropped, and you start seeing the little flaws in her, and she ain't that dime that you suspect, that you claimed that she was, that your infatuation made her out to be at first. So that's the first one. Number 2, concerning my list. Now I said physically active, someone that likes to get up, get out, not a couch potato. Because living here in Atlanta, Georgia, it is a very beautiful city. It's not the most advanced when it comes to providing a lot of walking trails and physical activity for folks, but they're trying. The city is getting better. It's not as good as it was. It's not as walk and bike friendly as Raleigh, North Carolina, when I used to live there, but they're trying. I mean, we got Silver Comic Trail. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff around here for people to get up and just enjoy the city. So that's what I was saying. If she can get up, ride a bicycle. Now, of course, I ride considerably fast, but when I'm with somebody, we just enjoying a moment, enjoying the weekends. I'm doing about maybe 6, 7, maybe 10 miles an hour. We're not riding that fast. Just not a couch potato chick.
See, so you're modifying that list, because I remember you being pretty specific regarding biking and doing different things. Like, you were more specific.
Yeah, I said biking. Get up and ride a bike. Like I said, yeah, I do triathlon. So when I'm training, or when I'm when I'm riding with the group, yeah, we're pushing 15, 20 miles an hour. But when I'm with somebody, a special someone in my life, no, I'm not talking about riding 20, 30, 40 damn miles. I'm talking about, maybe 10 miles down the trail, back. We come back, we go get something to eat, go get something to drink. We laugh, we talk about what we had going on the week. We just enjoy ourselves, and we're not just stuck in the house.
And I actually think that's dope. And I think that's like beautiful. And I think that's something enjoyable, a workout that you can do with your lady friend. But don't you kind of have a small age window regarding like the age of women that you're interested in dating? Was it like women 50 plus or something?
Yeah, with me I'll be 55 next month. Shit, I'm too early. I'll be 55 in April. So my thing is, I don't want anybody, 39, 40. I've been there, done that. So I don't need anybody, that young. 48 up to 58 is fine. 60, if she looks like Claire Huxtable,
a 60-year-old woman riding 10 miles a day. Oh, okay.
Do you got to understand that there are physically active Black women here in the United States.
Oh yeah, I
Um,
know it. I'm in lots of groups with Black girls who work out multiple. So I know, but we don't have that many older women who are active in the way in which you speak. But go ahead. I'm sorry for interrupting.
yeah, just physically active. Just get your butt up off the couch. Let's live. Your children, my child is gone. Your children should be gone. Let's enjoy our moment. You want to make me want to make them 6 figures. All right, let's get out and enjoy it.
Okay. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I remember it incorrectly. It just seemed like a hellified list, so to speak.
Oh, yeah, it was just 13 bullet points. But hey, we'll get on that another day. Everybody
He literally has it narrowed down to bullet points.
Everybody enjoy y'all Sunday. Have a good week. Hey, concerning Trump, he's happy to be gone. Now he can go home, get some sleep. He can get up and do what he wants to do.
He don't seem like it.
Man, it is, you got to put a front on. But man, that's a stressful job. And that man has had a career where he was his own man. He can get up, come and go. Hey, it was a good ride. Go back to living a normal life.
I agree with that.
Thank you, Jack.
Plus, why is he upset if he's losing Air Force One? The man got a 737 with his name on the side of it. He got his own stuff.
That's true. That's true.
All right, everybody have a good week. Take it easy. Be safe.
Thank you, Jack. A shout out to Intellectual Integrity. He says, how many dudes who are not qualified for a dime feel like they deserve one, as opposed to women who want a high value male and not qualified but feel like they deserve one? To be honest with you, I think it's equal. That's why we brought up the topic, because just as many women who think they deserve a high value male, men think they deserve the best of the best woman, and feel like the table should be set, like it should be better women all around, and women literally have the same argument.
You know what? I do think that regardless of physical appearance, there are women who, a ton of women who believe that they still deserve a high value man for whatever reason. But I also think that regardless of physical appearance, there are quite a few men who feel as though they deserve a, cream of the crop woman. So it is it's probably pretty even.
Hey, what's up, ladies?
Hey, Pablo. What's going on with you?
Pablo?
What's going on? I kind of lean towards you ladies a little bit on this one, except for one caveat. And it's that in Black America, the normal rules don't necessarily apply. And what I mean by that is this. The blonde-haired, blue-eyed, thin, fit white woman who meets the stereotype of what most white males like, you very rarely see that woman with a toothless redneck who drives a pickup truck, right? But in Black America, I can use an example from my own hometown as an example. I used to have a crush on this girl named Risha. Risha was classically beautiful, what most men in Black America would consider attractive, right?
So she had a fat ass.
Well, no, she had a nice body, but she didn't have like no big old ghetto booty, but she was shapely. Yes, she was cute, right? So I told my friend that went to her high school, I said, hey man, what's up with Risha? And he said, oh, you like her? He said, yeah. He said, oh, she ain't gonna like you. I said, well, why you say that? He said, she like the thugs. And I was like, oh man, whatever. You don't know what you're talking about. So sure enough, I shot my shot. And I went down in super flames. And when he said she like thugs, he was right. And it ain't and I know what you're gonna say, oh, well, maybe she liked the hood star. Nah. It wasn't the guy that had, the Benz with the kit on it and the BBSs and the hood star. It wasn't them kind of guys. It was the the thug that, you know, might be homeless, couch surfing, doing that kind of stuff, right?
Oh wow.
So you got to remember, in this particular culture, especially for between the ages of maybe 18 and 30, a lot of black women will say they want a certain type of guy, but they will accept other types of guys in the interim. So I kind of disagree. And to complex design, you can say all you want about quality. Gabrielle Sidibe is a quality person, but I don't want to have sex with her. I'm not sexually
Really?
most men aren't
That's the example
sexually
you had to
attracted to
use.
Gabrielle Sidibe. She's a nice person, but come on, man, we live in a real world. People's appearance matters. People do make judgments based on
Yeah,
that.
but
Doesn't mean they're bad people.
this is the thing. But this is the thing, Pablo. Okay, so you looking like you looking, you don't deserve a Gabourey Sidibe, right?
No, I'm not interested. It's not a matter of deserving. It's what can I, you know, what can I get? What has experience taught me that I can obtain?
Yes, and what I'll say is the playing field might be different from you versus somebody your age who is probably far less attractive. And I'm talking about on the male side, but women actually get blamed for being attracted to attractive people. And I'm always like, well, if women are getting blamed for being attracted to who they're attracted to, the same should be said for men because most men want an attractive woman. Most men want a dime, but most men will settle for a 7 or an 8 and says, okay, well, she's a 7 or an 8 with a good personality, but she is still a 7 or an 8. She is still an above average woman, even though the guy could be pretty average himself.
Yeah. Well, I think the issue comes in is that in general, not 100%, but in general, women are more interested in other qualities in men than their physical appearance. I'm not saying that they aren't interested in an attractive man, but when it comes to those other qualities, most women tend to put the other qualities a little bit ahead of a pretty man. You understand what I'm saying?
I totally do understand what you're saying, but this is the thing with attraction. Mostly everybody, men especially, put attraction ahead of just dealing with a woman and like settling for a woman. A man will say, okay, I can't really be seen with a 2. I can't be seen with a 2. I don't want to be seen with a 2. I don't want the problems of dealing with the woman who might be considered a 2, but this woman could be the best woman ever. She could cook, she can clean, she could be very, very submissive. She can give a man what he wants, but the problem is she's a 2. On the other hand, a guy who can be considered a 2 will say, okay, well, I'm making a certain amount of money and I'm a 2, but I'm still a good guy. And he could very well be a good guy, but he's not attracted to the woman that's a 2, and she's not attracted to him, but she gets blamed for not being attracted to him.
Okay, well, fair enough. Fair enough. But like I said, I just think that in Black America, it just seems like women weigh men's looks more heavily than women in other cultures do. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, good or bad. I'm just saying they weigh it more. They put it more at the top. You understand what I'm saying? And so what it does is, yeah. Go ahead.
To be completely honest, I don't know that it's that women weigh it more heavily. I think that what we are attracted to differs from women of other cultures. Women of other cultures are attracted to Black men. They literally feel as though if you are Black, for the most part, if you're a Black man, you're attractive to them. Whereas Black women, we are a tad bit more specific. It may be, the type of hair you have, we like a type of skin color, we like whatever it is, a certain height. I think that they're attracted to Black men and they just don't, whereas our attraction is just more specific within our culture.
Okay. That's fair. I can see that.
And I think it's the same way for men who are attracted to Black women. I mean, I think that for men who outside of our culture, and I know that most of it is they're fetishizing and it's a sexual attraction, but I think like if there are a lot of the men who are attracted to Black women, if you're a thin Black woman, even if you would be deemed as not attractive by men of your own race, they will find you attractive. Like I've seen white men in the office flirt with girls who most Black men wouldn't look twice at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but because they're probably looking at other things.
Yeah, and
Like
you're right.
I'm married to a Latina, but I don't find not even, not even 50% of all Latinas attractive. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah. Really, Ed? Don't try to don't do my sis. Don't you dare. Oh
Baby.
God. So ignorant.
I overlooked Ed being a,
Ed is a jerk.
honey.
Some comment. Go ahead.
Shout out to Sheed. What's going on, Sheed? What you think about the topic?
Welcome to the panel.
I'm gonna be breaking up a little bit. Just word FYI, because I'm actually driving.
Okay.
And
we can
pretty much dealing.
I was just saying we can hear you fine right now.
Okay. Far as dealing with looks and everything, a lot of women, when it comes to high value, to me, it shows a sense of laziness, in my opinion, because they don't want to put in the work. Same thing with guys, I look at them, they want the dimes, but they don't have the money for the dimes. Some settle. Same thing with the women. They don't ultimately like to settle. They want the best of the best because, you taught, get the best grades, go for what you want and be the best you can be. They don't want to settle for that average man to grow into being that so-called high value man. They want to, like instant potatoes. They want it right now. They want the whole accolades. If you hear a lot of the women all say that they want to stay home, they want to raise their kids. What about the high value men that have women that work and do everything else? Come home, raise the kids, and I've been hearing that a lot. The funny thing is a lot of women come with the cheat code. When they listen to certain shows, they come with the interest of having a cheat code to get what they want versus them trying to understand. Like I listen to a lot of ladies channel. I'm married, but my thing is I listen to see what's the whole outlook of women nowadays, the younger women too as well. So I can give that to my son. Let my daughter know what to stay away from. Preferably my son, because I got 3 boys. They need to understand how women move nowadays. And just seeing that everything is going on, like I was taught how to cook because my great grandmother told me. She was looking at a lot of these women growing up, seeing that they beautiful, but they can't cook. Their skills are like falling off. Most of these women, focus on the beauty instead of going in there learning how to pick up a pot and pan. That tradition where like cultural, where you're passing down things, it's just not taught. Well, most cases, because most of the women they just don't want to learn how to cook, or the ones that do, it's issues behind it.
Yeah, I think most Black women have focused more on being successful outside of the home as opposed to being successful inside the home. And that is a growing trend for us.
A shout out to Babe. He says a 3 + 5 = 8. Get out of there, Ed. Babe, I don't know if I. Never mind.
You know what? Don't you listen.
Let me get out of there too.
I'm not dealing with.
And the crazy part, like I hear a lot of guys come with these lists, and it kills me. Even with like Jack was talking about how there's not enough trails in it. I'm in Georgia. I'm in Atlanta. Pretty much, it's just not the area he's in. In certain areas you get more things that can. If you want to go hiking, you got Stone Mountain. You got trails at Stone Mountain. You have certain parks.
Yeah, there are walking trails and parks all over Georgia.
Exactly. But the whole purpose is, if you don't stay in those neighborhoods or you don't frequently travel in those areas, you're not privy to them. So you don't know they exist.
But the
You
another
know?
point about that is, if that is important to you, you make sure that you're located in a nice proximity to that. If health and fitness and you are a bike rider, I can turn on my camera right now. I'm looking out of my bedroom window. The trail is 2 feet from my backyard. I can walk out to the trail. If that's something that is important to you, then you make sure that, that's where you're located close to that. But I do think that I don't think that there's anything wrong with a man having standards and saying, I want a woman that's going to stay healthy and fit and that, I can work out with. I wasn't, when I wasn't attacking him for having that standard.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I understand. But my thing is, a lot of guys, they want those standards, but you got to meet those women that have those standards. Like I tell most people, when I got married to my wife, my biggest thing with her was not to be submissive, to be understanding. We have an issue, we have a situation, you know, we come to agreements or we just dead it. You know, anything. If you gain weight, I can help you lose that weight. If I married you a certain way and you get to be a little bit bigger, we can work that out. You know, there's ways of cutting back on eating. Eating light, doing small exercises. A lot of guys want their women to lose the weight, but they don't want to do it with them. You know.
That's true. And I think that's important. Something that you said about like men being understanding and people being understanding, period. I think that a woman should like, be understanding as well. If something happens and your husband is the sole provider or is the primary provider of the household and something happens, corona, a pandemic, he loses his job and you may have to foot a few more of the bills, or if your wife has your baby and as a result she's having a hard time getting rid of this baby weight, being understanding, trying to work with the person and you guys coming to some sort of compromise.
Yeah, but in most cases, you have the men when they go through hard times. Most women are taught, if he can't be a provider, leave him. He's not a real man if he can't do for his family. In most cases, you have the women, you know, when the women are bad or they're not doing what they're supposed to do, the men, they get to the point where you don't have to take disrespect. If this cussing and clowning at you, for one, you should have never married a woman that disrespect you.
Mm-hmm.
That should have from the jump. All these guys say, man, this woman changed, and this was that. I can understand in most cases, certain people, they have this veil, they hide it. But that's the whole thing. You didn't vet her long enough to find out who she really was. Like the Two Face. Everybody has two sides. Like I was talking to a guy earlier and I was telling him, I said, if I bring you an egg, you don't know what's in that egg till it cracks. The outside of that egg, that's what people look at right now, the beauty. Men wanting girls with a certain body, big booties and stuff like that. It's all good and dandy. They want the tens, but tens come with maintenance. Most guys don't have the money to keep a woman at a 10.
Mm.
You need to pay for those nails. Need to pay for the hairdo. I know a lady, she got her hair done every week. My friend, he was married to a lady that got her hair done every week,
Wow.
$150 every
Wow.
week. That was
That's a good question that you bring up, though.
know,
I wonder if for the men in the chat, if those of you who are seeking a 10 or a 9 or a 10, are you willing to keep up with her maintenance?
yeah. And then
Shout out to Eisen Sama. He says my favorite string for fuckery. Salute, ladies.
Thank you, Eisen
Thank you
Sama.
for the super chat. We're baby angels over here. But Concrete, I think that was a really good question. I think that was a really good
and it's
question.
something that's not considered. You want a beautiful woman. The thing is, as much flack as Obsidian gets, because he says that he shouldn't have to modify his standards, that he wants a beautiful woman, but he does talk about the fact that he isn't expecting her to cook. he, would prefer that she doesn't work and she dedicates a certain amount of hours to being healthy and exercising. He said he doesn't, he doesn't need her to do certain things. He can have somebody come in and do the housekeeping and this, that, and the other. So at least he understands that, there is a lot that goes into maintaining that. For some women, like some beautiful women, like absolutely gorgeous, beautiful women, that may be their full-time job, just keeping up their appearance. They are not going to work 40 hours and coming home and, chasing around kids for a lot of them. That is their full-time job, is making sure they look good and, that gets their bills paid.
Ed said that's a lie. A 10 is a 10 without maintenance. Is that true?
Ed, you know what? Men say stuff like this. But you'll see like all the women who they find beautiful, you'll have them show you pictures, and it's like these Instagram models that sat in front of a mirror for 2 hours putting on her face before she got on Instagram or OnlyFans or whatever. So like, yeah,
no, Ed into them Black Power bitches, like the ones with the natural hair and
listen, I don't know. You think those are the type of women that Ed is attracted to?
Yes. Girl, I'm Ed friend Ed with Ed on Facebook. That's all he be posting.
Okay, so but those women aren't necessarily considered like that. They don't fit
they
the
wouldn't be
mold
considered. This is the thing. Ed doesn't like women that are considered conventionally pretty.
Right, they wouldn't fit the mold of like Western beauty.
Yeah, if they were African with beautiful skin, clear eyes, natural hair, beautiful teeth, nice feet, I think that's what Ed would say is a dime to him. And she probably wouldn't need the maintenance. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Even with having a body though, you got to understand, most women, they literally have to work out almost every week, set a regimen to obtain a good body and a nice body, you have to work out.
That's true. In order to maintain it. Yeah.
Yeah. They're not just waking up in the morning, just having this banging body. They've been eating what they want, do what they want. Most of these women have diet plans. You look at all these Instagram models, the ones that are actually having the surgeries and the ones that are not having the surgeries, they're doing it the natural way. You don't see them in the gym doing all this weightlifting and doing all these things. It takes a lot of work. Everybody sees the finished product, but nobody sees the struggle. That's the thing with relationships. Everybody always see these 20 and 30-year relationships, but they don't see the heartbreak when the guy almost cheats and never comes home, and they have these issues with money and stuff like that. All they see is the nice house, the wonderful kids, the woman driving this and that. They put in that hard work. That's the thing about a lot of people in the relationship. Nobody wants to put in the work. They just want to reap the benefits.
That's a good point, Sheed. You were dropping some points. I agree with a lot of what you said, and I appreciate you coming up. Hang on just a minute. I just wanted to get Dennis in here because I know he dropped off just a second ago to make sure he has a chance to chime in too. Dennis, what are your comments on the topic?
Hey, what's up, Sister George, Concrete Rose? How y'all doing?
Hey.
Hey, yeah. So, I mean, I got about three things that I kind of wanted to say. First off, I don't know if Complex is in the chat, but Complex, we got to be honest, man. A 10 is not just a good woman. Like, come on, man. It's the problem with this space is there are a lot of people that are trying to change up definitions to fit, like, what they want. No, man. A 10 is when you walk into the room and the whole room stops because they're like, damn, who is that? Like, come on, we know what a 10 is. The second thing is a lot of guys are trying to use outdated models to apply to the current day. So for example, like, a lot of guys just think that, like, as long as I just have enough money, like, I'll be fine, or whatever, I can afford her. But that's a 1930s, 1940s thing where women actually needed money. The average woman nowadays who's worth her salt doesn't need a man for money at all. And even if she did, let's just say she's an 8, 9, or 10, you don't think that she's getting hit up by lawyers, doctors, business tycoons, like, guys who actually have money. So trying to use your money to attract a woman nowadays, unless you're like a Dan Bilzerian, like you got yachts and stuff, it doesn't really matter. And then the other thing is number three is a lot of guys don't really understand just how, like, it's actually very easy to become a greater than average kind of guy, because if you think about the average sort of person's day to day, the average person doesn't even work out, the average person doesn't read, the average person doesn't really push themselves, they just kind of just go through life.
True.
So that's what I'm saying. What a lot of guys got to understand is you can easily get yourself into that top 80% of the top 20% of men just by going to the gym, dieting, reading a little bit, and then working on your career. It doesn't take that much to actually go out and actually be a high quality guy. But yeah, I mean, a lot of dudes, I'm sorry, but that's the way the sexual marketplace is deregulated. Okay, so literally everybody's going for the best options that they can get, and what's the first thing that people are looking at? They're looking at your physical attraction. I'm sorry, but hey guys, that just is what it is. Go to the gym,
Okay.
get your money
Yeah.
right. Go to the. I mean, make sure you got, if you got a beard, keep it shaped up. Look good. That's what it is. We're just playing in different terms, and I know it's just it's just different. You got to be able to adapt to what life is throwing at you right now. So that's all I
Right.
had to say.
Right. You said you show me a dime, I'll show you a flawed woman.
Well, yeah,
There's no
complex.
there's no such thing as a dime.
No,
You show
complex.
you
Complex. Come
you
on.
show
No,
me
no,
a
no, no,
dime.
no. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
No. Here's what
Hold
you're
on,
doing.
complex.
No, what you just did was you just objectified women, right? You just put them up on a pedestal. You show me a
So
dime.
you don't think that women objectify men too?
No, what I said was you show me a quote unquote dime, and I'll show you a flawed woman. There
Dude,
is
go
no
to
dime.
Instagram. They're all on there. Just type in
No,
a dime.
you go to Instagram. I deal in the real world. Those women are full of flaws. You're looking at filters, bro. Keep it real. What did
Okay,
you
well,
did you literally just bring Instagram up? Really? Bro, you're
yeah.
looking at filters, fam. You're looking at Anglegate, you're looking at filters, you're looking at a bunch of bullshit. You're
So
looking
complex.
at anything
Okay,
real.
so complex question. Do you go to the gym right now?
I don't have to go to the gym, dude. I work out because of what I do physically.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Have you been to a store, let's just say a grocery store, you're out there shopping, and whatever. You tell me you haven't seen a woman who's a 10 in your books, physically.
No. I already explained
You've
what a 10
never
was.
seen
I told you. No, I told you. You point to a quote unquote dime, and I'm going to show you a flawed woman. There is no 10.
No. Okay, hold on. You're considering the whole entire person. I'm just talking about just physically, first of all.
I don't put
I'm
that
just
much
talking about
about.
just
I know.
physical
I'm saying,
attraction. There
dude.
are very, 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 very,
No,
very attractive women out there.
no. Because you already used Instagram as a measure, so I already see how you objectify and how you look at women. I don't look at women the same way. I'm a sapio. So no, I don't value a woman's physical features that much because she's flawed.
Oh, okay.
How much value? Wait. I already said, dude, the shit fades, right? Then what?
Oh, of course.
Okay,
But
so how much
that
value?
doesn't.
How much stock?
But
How much?
hold
If
on,
you
hold
know
on,
something,
because another dude on the panel said that, within 3 months or 2 months or 3 months, the looks. No. Okay, hold on, because let's go back to actually what I was actually critiquing you on. You said that a 10 is a good woman. That may be a good woman for you.
No, I said if I had to define it, because as you're defining it, you're giving me Instagram as an example, and I'm like, dude, that is
let's
the
just get
worst
off the
thing.
Instagram.
Wait. Let me finish. Wait. No. Actually, let me finish responding, because you're the one who brought up Instagram as an example of where you can find these quote unquote dimes, and I said, bro, that's all filters. Right.
Well, bro,
So
I've seen them in real life too.
hold on.
They're in my
So
gym
if you're gonna give me that, then I'm gonna say, well, I'm gonna wholesale reject it because I can't believe what I'm seeing there. But I know what I'm getting when I actually interface with a woman, right? So if she's of high quality, I'll put her there. But just on physical looks alone, man, hell no. No.
Okay, complex.
That's no dime.
Complex. There are women out here. Complex. I see them in my gym. dog, they're nines and tens. We
I
know
know,
that.
and what you do is I
But
know,
what I'm
and
trying
what
to
you do
say
is you
bro,
put
you
way
can't
too
be
much.
switching these definitions. We know
I'm not.
tens are not just good women, okay? Because if that was the case, there would be a lot more tens out here. And even by the definition of what a ten or a dime is, um, there can't be a lot of tens or dimes out or dimes, because if there were a lot, then they wouldn't be rare. That doesn't
Where do
make
you
any
live?
sense.
Where do you live?
Personally, I mean, I live in North Carolina.
I live in Los
So
Angeles. I live in Los Angeles, dude. That's an utter
so
falsehood what you
there
just
are
said.
no tens. There are no tens in LA
No, I said
complex.
by your standards, there's an abundance of them. By
There are
your
no tens in LA complex.
No, I said by your standards, there's an abundance of them. By your standards. By my standards, not that many. No, there's not a lot of tens, quote unquote. By my standards, no.
Hold
Your
on.
standards,
But
your
wait, complex.
standards,
Because
because your
you just
standards are
contradicted
Instagram.
yourself.
No,
You just
no,
said
you're
that there were
no.
no tens.
I said by your standards, there's plenty. If your standards are Instagram, there's a shit ton out here. By my
No, my
standards,
standards aren't Instagram. I just told you that I see them in real life too.
right?
Dog, there are nines and
No,
tens.
you said you gave
I
me
don't know what you're talking
Instagram.
about.
You gave me Instagram as an example where you can find tens, and I said, okay, well, if that's the case, guess what? A lot of them live in LA. So I guess by your standards, there's a shit ton of them. Sure. Do I think they're dimes? Fuck no.
But you got to understand, between both of you guys, you got to understand, when it comes down the value scale of a 10 or an 8 is by your standards. So
Well,
his standards,
all of that is bullshit. Like calling nines and eights and tens and twos and ones and threes and minus fours and okay. I mean, look, this is the standard. I when I came up here originally, I prefaced it. I said, look, if I had to give a definition of, in my view, of what a dime is a quality woman. And why do I say that? Because that's an actual reality. Okay,
Oh,
by your
okay.
standards, a dime, that's something that is an illusion because the shit fucking fades. You
Okay,
don't get
complex.
it.
So okay. Now hold on. Because if that's the case, let's just say you had a quality woman, but
Yes, I had
physically,
one. I was married to one.
hold on. I didn't
I'm
finish.
just saying I could
Let's
use the
just
one I was
say,
married to as an example. We don't have to go hypothetical. I had one.
okay. So let's just say you had a quality woman, but
We don't
she's a
have to say
two
that.
on the
I had
physical.
one.
Okay, let's just say you
Uh-huh.
have a quality woman, but she's
hmm
a two on the physical attraction scale. Is she a dime?
Why are you assuming that my quality woman is a two?
I'm not assuming that. I'm giving you a situation. I did not assume
No.
that. I did not say that.
Here's what you're assuming. You're assuming.
What I said, see, because
Okay.
here's the thing, you're not going to answer it because
The
you know
reason
I'm
why
right.
I'm not going to answer is because you're not allowing me to explain my position on what a dime is. I said a dime is a quality woman. Now, here's what you did. You reduced what I'm saying down to a two. Now, who's to say that I'm attracted to twos, quote unquote, by your definition? Who said that?
But wait a
First of all, I
minute,
didn't say that.
wait a minute.
See, because
Okay.
look, wait, there's one last thing,
Let me-
Danielle. What I'm trying to get him to understand is that, see, here's what you can do. You can find a quality woman who just so happens to be attractive. You do realize that that's also a possibility, right? That's why I don't put the whole physical beauty thing first, because if I put quality first, typically the whole beauty thing comes right along with it.
No,
Oh,
complex.
wait. You're trying to tell me. You're
He's
trying to
telling the
tell
truth.
me.
Complex. Hold on.
He's telling
You're trying to
We
tell
the
me.
know.
truth.
You're trying to
Come
tell
on,
me.
Complex. That doesn't make
Well, no,
sense.
there is no hold on, because that's my experience, bro. So what are you trying to argue against? I'm the one
No,
who. Wait,
because
hold on.
here's the thing.
Go
First of all, I'm
go
not
ahead.
actually talking about your experiences. I'm talking about generalization.
Well, this is the reason why you
So
shouldn't. No,
so
no.
hold
This is the
on.
reason why. No, this
Hold
is the reason
on,
why.
dude.
No, this is the reason why generalizations are dangerous.
How are they dangerous?
Because of what you're doing right now. Because what you're doing is you're negating my experiences. And by negating my experiences, what you're also negating is you're negating the possibility that there just may be quality women out there who don't play up their physical attributes. Why? Because they want you to see something else in them. Okay? Because
But hold
no,
on. Okay.
wait,
So
dude.
hold on,
I'm
complex. So hold
responding to
on.
you. I'm responding to you. Okay, because you're doing a disservice to quality women who also might be a bit reserved. Okay, they could play it up and then be the hot girl and all that shit. But you know what I find? I find that a lot of reserved quality women, they'll do that for the right dude. Okay, but just because but see, on the surface though, since she ain't putting it out there in front of you, she's, I guess, a 4 or 5 or some shit like that, right? Is that how you approach this shit?
Yep.
So you're saying that if a person's physically attractive, they may intentionally try to hide that so that you can focus on their personality and their
No, it is that
intangibles.
some women just don't care to put their tits all in your face, bro.
Dude, okay, hold on. First of all, I wasn't saying that, but
Well, no, that's what you just
complex.
did. You just said,
But
"Well, do you think they
dude, I
intentionally play it
listened to you,
down?" Yeah,
complex.
some
Yo,
women are
complex.
reserved,
I listen.
bro.
Can I respond?
No,
So
dude.
here's the thing. Again, we human beings, first of all, we're visual creatures, and where dating and relationships are going nowadays, it's the first thing that people are looking at is visual.
You're saying that as if I'm
Okay,
not a
we know
human.
that.
You're saying this as
No,
if you're not speaking to a human being.
right. So
Okay. So let's speak with
right.
a little more
So
intelligence.
okay, right.
Yeah, let's
So
do
that's
that.
what I'm trying to say is there are going to be a lot of cases where, let's just say, you're not physically attractive, or you may not be attractive that day, or for example, you just walk out like, you just wearing whatever. There may be instances where people overlook you because for that day or whatever, you're not physically appealing to them for whatever reason. So that's
Dude,
all I'm trying to say
I've
is
literally had women
Hey,
on this platform tell
complex.
me that I don't
Let
exist. Okay,
let
you're not
let him
telling me
talk.
anything new.
Let him talk. Let him get his point
I
across.
am, but dude, he's not making a lot of sense.
I understand,
well,
but
I'm
let
not
him get
making
his
it.
point.
But that's what I'm trying to say. So again, we're on a panel, and other people are like,
Well,
this is
you
this
did
is
kind
a
of call
general space. So I'm trying to make generalizations.
you did kind of call my position into question though. You did do that,
No,
right?
Yeah,
I totally did.
You
and
did do
pretty
that.
much complex. Pretty much what he's saying is
Well,
true. You're defining women by looks, and what he's defining women by their characteristics.
And
You're trying to say,
what I'm trying to put out here in the open is that it is not simply that cut and dry, because what you're doing
exactly.
is you're putting men in a box and saying, well, all men do this and all men do this and all men approach women a certain way, and it's bullshit. I don't get
No,
Yep.
the
I'm
same.
not saying
I don't
that.
get.
What I'm trying
Listen,
to say,
okay.
complex, is it's a blend of both.
uh,
Okay, complex. How
So
many
wait,
good
wait.
women? Hold on.
Did
Let me
everybody
let
just
me
hear me
finish,
say? Did
bro.
everybody just hear me say that if you usually go for quality, you'll usually get the attraction part as well? You're
That's
telling me what?
not necessarily
No,
true.
that's the blend of both. That's the blend of both you're
No,
talking
it's not, dude.
about. Okay,
There
you're
are a lot
telling
of
me, and
girls
this is
out
my
here who are
experience.
physically attractive, but they're not quality women. There are a lot of quality women out here who aren't physically attractive. It's not. It's exclusive. It's
Right.
mutually exclusive.
Okay, but what I'm saying is that based on how I approach it, I typically get that blend of both, bro. And I'm saying not all men go through the same shit. So if this is a panel, it can I not also relay like the perspective and the viewpoints of someone who may not view it the same way you do and doesn't
No,
experience it
complex.
the
That's not
same
what
that's
way
I'm
what
you
I
do?
saying.
wanted to say. I wanted to just chime in really quickly. When he spoke, he did talk about what he considers a dime, and I
Thank
think that
you.
that's his individual standard. So I don't think we can't
Yeah.
argue with a person regarding their standard for how they view dimes, quote
I mean,
unquote.
Exactly.
I get the results and you're arguing against me. I'm like, bro, no, dude, I get the results.
No, again, complex. What I'm trying to say is this: is I'm speaking in generalizations. Everybody has their own experience of life and what they go through. But I'm
And
talking
like I
about
said, and that's the
generally.
danger, and that's the danger in generalizations.
But again, we're speaking to a broad audience.
Dude.
That's
So
why I'm making generalizations.
if you do that, guess what you never do? If you always do that, then you're never going to strike on the nuances of things. You may not ever strike new ground if you just keep going over the same general shit and you don't actually consider a little bit of nuance.
Uh,
And you know what? That's not kind of too far off from basically what we were talking about in the beginning during our intro when we were saying that men or the type of men or that dimes go for can't be relegated to one specific thing. So he's essentially saying for someone to be considered a dime in my book, I'm not relegating them strictly to their physical appearance. I'm looking for a quality woman of substance too, and she has to have that in
A
order for me
dime
to
is the
consider her
whole
a dime.
package, bro. A dime is
True,
a whole package.
true.
Bro, I
Um,
agree. All I was doing was saying when you said a 10 is a good woman, I'm just like, well, or a 10 is a
You're
quality
arguing that.
woman.
You're arguing that.
No,
Well,
dude, I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying that the physical attraction and the intangibles have to typically go hand in hand.
Oh my God.
Generally.
Did you listen to what I said at the beginning?
Dude, okay, so
Well,
this
you
is
called me out, bro, and I'm like, okay, I don't think you really
well, yeah,
heard
I
what
had
I
to
said.
go because,
I know,
bro,
but
that
you
doesn't
didn't.
make any
You're
sense.
repeating what I actually said earlier.
A 10
Ironically,
just isn't a well, okay. I mean, maybe we need to ask the chat room because I don't think that a 10 is just a quality woman.
well, he didn't say just a quality woman, solely. But I've heard this isn't a foreign concept to me. I've heard men say that, if a woman is strikingly beautiful, but she has a disgusting attitude, she doesn't have good character, that she's not considered a dime in their book, that they kind of take points off if she's, a disgusting person. She does, so
and
that's
don't you
not
guys
a foreign concept.
say and then don't you guys say on your side, well, he was attractive until he opened his mouth.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
so what I'm saying is the shit cuts both ways. That's why I'm like, dude, just looking at that, dude, that's where guys fuck up. That's where guys fuck up. They keep getting caught up in what the fuck they see, and a lot of that shit is fake hair and makeup.
That goes back to what I was saying about the egg.
Yeah.
If you don't know what's going on inside, it could be a chicken in there, it could be an alligator, anything. You're focused on the outside of how that egg looks, how it's shaped. You have a whole definition of what's in that egg. Until
Take
that
away
egg cracks, that's the only way you know.
Take away the fake
Good
hair, the
point.
makeup, the nails, the fucking IG filters, all the bullshit. Can't cook in depth. Hey, are you really dealing with a 10? The fuck out of here.
Well, I think you guys both have very good points, but I want to get Leo Anthony in here to chime in as well.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, Leo, we can hear you.
I kind of like reject the premise that men feel like they're entitled to 10s because usually what I hear women say is that they're not going to settle down. They're not going to settle for just any type of men. And they kind of like wait it out and actually stick to that conviction. And if the perfect man doesn't come along, they'll stay single. Whereas men, they're more okay with settling, like as long as the woman is attractive as much as they want her to be and is a good woman, they're okay with that, even if she doesn't have a big ass booty or she's not the perfect cook. So if to me, if men are more okay with settling than women are, how can you say that most men feel like they're entitled to a dime?
Yeah. Well, we weren't implying that most men. We were just kind of speaking in a general sense. We were talking to some of the men who we see claim that, they're deserving of a dime. And, we're asking the question, well, what makes you think that you are deserving of a dime? But we're not implying that most men, that, a large
here's the thing, like,
men.
when men get like their paper up, their money up, they feel like they have a better chance at getting a dime. Not necessarily that they're entitled to one, because real life will humble you real quick, and like could have money and you still can't get a dime.
Well, and that's the thing, people do feel like I got my money up, so I deserve a dime. But what about everything else that, makes that's part of your makeup? What about, your physical appearance? What about your attire? What about your character? What about, other things that you can work on as it relates to self-improvement? So just having the money alone, that's essentially what we're saying. Just having the money does not entitle you to the type of woman that you think you deserve. Just like for a woman, I mean, let's just a woman is
but men are concrete, but men are measured by how much money they make and
that's not
how
the only
successful
measurement. That's my point. That's
not
not
correct,
the only
sir.
measurement.
Not correct.
That's not the
women look at how successful men are, and obviously the more successful you are as a man, the more options you have.
That's not necessarily true.
Sir.
That's like saying for a woman, if you're in your optimal fitness, but you're not, but you have a nasty attitude, or you're not attractive, that you still get your pick of men. No, it's not true.
It's not true.
I'm saying like, okay, if a woman optimize like her beauty, right, and she keeps herself in shape, she has more options to men regardless of her personality.
She would have more
It's the
options
same thing. Yeah,
than if
but
she was
yeah,
overweight.
I'm saying you have more options. That's why you believe that, okay, if I optimize one of the attractive qualities people look at me for, then I could probably get the best option I can get.
If
And
her
that's
attitude is stank, man, nobody's gonna
Right,
put up with that
right,
shit.
right.
Her, oh,
Well,
that beauty's
actually,
gonna,
hold
but
on,
that
beauty's
hold
gonna
doesn't
on.
go.
limit.
Beauty,
I
Hold on.
understand
I
that
actually
complex,
disagree,
but that
Complex.
doesn't like that doesn't limit her options though.
yeah, it does. Because nobody, who the fuck's gonna stick around and deal with that shit?
Well,
So
Complex,
you
Complex,
don't see
there's a
these
lot of chicks
guys
out
like
here.
simping for chicks that are like 9 or 10s with bad attitudes,
Well,
Exactly.
with gold
I
diggers.
mean, I guess if they're going after Sims, I suppose,
Right.
sure.
So it's the same thing. Like if a guy becomes like a millionaire or a billionaire, he is probably gonna have access to more attractive women, regardless of whether or not he's undeserving of it because of how he is as a person.
Right. And we're not talking about those are like
I
exceptions.
mean,
We're
that's
like,
it.
what percentage of men in this country are millionaires? We're talking about men who feel like they've attained success, regular average men. We're not talking to millionaires and billionaires. We're talking about men who just feel like they've reached the certain level of
But then
success, or
again,
that
And ask all the
it's
quote
like
unquote
it's not
dimes
a
out
matter
here in
of like.
LA, and
But then
ask
again,
all the
look.
quote unquote dimes out here in LA who can't find themselves a millionaire.
Okay, it's not a matter of deserve. That's what I'm trying to point out. It's just that you have more options because you optimize one of the qualities that make you attractive.
right. And not
Right. But hold on.
you have
But
more
here, but
options, but if you optimize the other qualities, your character, your physical appearance, if you focus on the other things as well, you will have even
No,
more of
but
an option, or
but
higher
the reason why I'm saying this
chance,
because it's like you're
likelihood.
saying that if a man makes more money, he shouldn't believe that he could get better options.
No, that's not what we're saying. I
no,
keep saying we're
What?
saying that that's not the sole
No.
qualifier. That's not the one and only thing, and that alone is not going to guarantee that you will. But we're saying that's not the only qualifier.
That's why I said there's nuance. It's not just. It's
Yeah,
not
I know
simply.
that,
Right.
but like, you see, like sometimes, when women hear men talk about the standards of women that they want, they take it as this guy feels like he's deserving of like this, like Instagram model chick. And it's like, no, most of the time, the things that men say they won't settle for, it's not even like looks per se. It's like characteristics. Like if you got a
Well,
bad attitude, I'm not settling for that. If
well,
you got kids
Leo.
by multiple men, I'm not settling for that.
Right, and no man should have to. But look, Danny gave like a really good example earlier when she was talking, doing her part of the intro, and she was saying that these men tend to overlook like their counterparts. So someone
I
in
don't
your
believe
tax
that though
bracket,
because
someone who is as equally as
I
attractive as you are,
I
equal
don't I
fitness.
disagree with that because I see average looking women in relationships getting wifed up, having kids, men chasing them. If they're feminine, and they got other qualities, then men still will go for them. That's why I'm
well,
saying that like
hold on, Leo. You keep forgetting that you don't know the reason why they're together, and also you don't know if to be honest, there are a lot of people who settle to get into relationships or marriages because for a
but
couple of
that's my
reasons,
point
right?
that men
Hold
settle
on, hold on.
more than women.
No. Hold on. But here's the thing, and first of all, I definitely agree with what Concrete Rose said. We got to stop having these these arguments where we're talking about dudes who are millionaires and billionaires. Okay, let's just talk about the
Yeah.
average brother. Like the average brother is not going to be a millionaire or a billionaire. Let's just talk about the common man. And also
Okay.
yeah, you don't know the reason why they're together. A lot of people settle. They get tired of playing. They get tired of dating. They get emotionally
But
scarred, and they're just like, okay,
okay, bro,
I
but
just want to get
the
married. I just want
the
to.
the average brother settles for the average woman because he knows he can't get a 9 or a dime.
And the average woman is settling for the average man, dude. There's a lot of
No,
settling
no.
going on.
Well, but the difference is though is that they have that entitlement that they can get better because they just feel that way.
Wait,
But
Men
here's
who?
the
don't
thing.
have that
From
Wait,
entitlement.
what I've
no,
seen,
yeah,
a
they
lot of
do.
brothers
No,
also
no,
have
wait, hold
entitlement
on.
too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, they hold on. They do because if every dude is trying to go for this proverbial dime, as you keep calling it, well, then I guess that puts them in that sort of high class or that high status there where you're now competing for them, right? So I guess if we flip the mirror around, much like how it works with the high value dudes and all the chicks, and their inability to get or gain access to them, I guess it works the other way around. And because the same thing, because the same thing is happening, they have to quote unquote settle, just like how the other side has to quote unquote settle, right? Kind of like
No,
that.
I disagree. I disagree because even if you're a guy that desires a dime, you do realize that you got to put in work to get that dime.
Well, wait, and
On
it
the
doesn't
flip
work the other way
side,
around.
no, on the flip side, women don't think they have to do any work. They think all they have to do is just show up and look cute.
Well, no, they have to do the maintenance thing and all that other stuff, right? To
Yeah,
maintain the
No,
dime status, right?
no, but
Don't they
you
have
have
to
a lot
work
of
out?
women that just
They have
think
to put the
no,
work
but
in.
you have a lot of
They
women that think all they have to do is look attractive and
Okay,
that is it.
and then there was also the argument that said there's a lot of dudes who have unrealistic expectations about getting access to quote unquote dimes, right?
But
It
hold
works
on,
both
Leo.
ways.
Yeah, Complex. Let me get in here because
Go ahead.
there's something that Leo mentioned that's good. So Leo, why do you think that a lot of women just think that all they have to do is be attractive to get a top quality guy?
It's because they can sleep with a guy that's out of their league, and that makes them feel like, okay, this is the level they can actually get. Whereas most men will tend to sleep down.
If you're
Most
sleeping with
men
a
will tend
man
to
that's
sleep
out
down.
of your league, if you're sleeping with a man that's out of your league, you better know that you better be on your P's and Q's and do everything in your power to keep him. Because if he's out of your league, that means that he can date down, but he also has the ability to date within his league. So you
Well,
should
wait.
be.
Well, Concrete Rose, but by definition, though, she would be practicing hypergamy, right? Because she's actually dating upwards.
Well, true. Absolutely.
Okay, wait. And then as a result, then that means that the guy would actually be practicing hypogamy, which is the practice of dating downward, which is typically what men do, right? So isn't
Yep.
that sort of like
But
the actual order
That's
of
supposed
Complex,
to be
flow?
if I'm dating down,
normal.
how am I entitled to a dime?
Wait, what?
If guys are settling for dating down, how
Uh-huh.
do they feel like they're entitled to a dime?
Well,
Okay, hold on,
here-
Leo, hold on. Because
Go ahead.
also you got to understand too is how do you know that a lot of guys are settling? Because from what I see in these chat rooms in these YouTube streets, a lot of guys are simply asking for a lot of things that they don't qualify for. So we
And
gotta
that's the
stop saying
whole
that.
basis of
How
what
are
we're
you?
talking
No,
about.
but like, no, my thing is there's nothing wrong with desiring the most attractive person you can get.
Yeah.
It's like if
Okay.
you're
I
willing to
desire
actually put
$10 million.
like it's like if you realize that you have to put in work to get that and keep that, and then if you can't get that, you have the understanding that hey, okay, maybe I don't qualify for this, or I just can't get this, or maybe this is not even worth it. Because a lot of times, I've dated dimes and eights and nines, but I found out that they were a headache, and you realize, okay, I do not need something this high. I'm fine with just getting something that is attractive and good for
Wait a
me.
minute.
Well,
And I
that's
think
interesting.
men come to that conclusion a lot better than women.
So
You know
wait, was she really a dime then? I mean, dude, she's a dime. Come on, why didn't you?
No, but the thing is like I don't care about most. I don't think really most men care about getting a dime overall. They just care about getting an attractive woman that's a good
Well,
woman.
it's interesting that you say that. I see PK Angel in the chat said that I think the baseline expectation that men have is to be treated respectfully. For the woman to be at least a 5 or 6. Of course, we would like higher. And those are the baseline standards, which I find interesting. And I think that you guys, I think that PK is on the money, but I also think that you are too, Leo. I think that people in this space have, an air of anonymity and they're just shit talking, so to speak.
No, I do think there's guys in the space that act like they don't deal with nothing but dimes.
Yeah,
Now
but I
those
think that
guys are
there's a
like
lot of
fronting.
men in this space who just fronting too. I
Okay.
wanted to get LAR
question.
movement in there real quick,
Oh,
and then we'll
okay,
get
LAR.
Pablo in too. Hey,
Okay.
LAR.
How y'all good people doing? Hello.
Oh,
Great.
what up?
Since I'm watching football, I'm gonna act like I'm watching football and say something very footballish. Most people are average or below average at best, saying that they're they need somebody who's a dime, ironically putting that person above them, but saying they're above that person. So ultimately, how can I say this nicely? Most people haven't taken a good look in the mirror. Most people, you ain't a dime, you ain't a 9, you ain't an 8, you ain't a 7, you ain't a 6, you ain't a 5 on your own scale.
Oh,
yeah.
Boom.
So what winds up happening is, it's this, everybody, people don't want to say it like this, but most people are narcissistic about who they are and where they place in society.
Yep.
You're not as good as you think you are. If you were, you would be a millionaire or billionaire. You're not.
Thank you.
You're not. You don't make 6 figures. You don't. You know what I'm saying? So what is the American average? If you are a little bit above the American average, you're a little bit above average.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to looks, I hate to tell people this, we think about dimes, we think about young, in shape people. Most of the people ain't young and they ain't in shape. So you a dime no way.
Thank you.
So
I got
now
a
it's like,
question. Go ahead, Larry.
No. Let him finish.
so the end of the story basically is you're over the hill saying that you deserve something because you're at a particular place. And what you're doing is you're making a deal. They're a little washed up, you're a little washed up. And you don't want to, and you want to say, I'm less washed up than you. That's pretty much the gist of it.
Well, dang, LAR. Yeah, you just come through, kicking in the door.
I appreciate realism. I appreciate
Turn over the tape.
and realism. Thank you. Thank you
But
so much.
you don't think like men are humbled more because they get rejected more, because you kind of know what you qualify, or at least what you can get. So it's hard to build that entitlement if you constantly get rejected.
Well, I think what you're saying doesn't work out in practical application on that. Because there are men who get rejected and stop shooting shots. And then there are men who get rejected and then they start hitting. Those are two different egos. So you got people who don't shoot shots who are talking about hypotheticals that they're not going to do on their own. And you got people who are already hitting and they act like, okay, I hit 2 out of 10, I'm the man. But I can find somebody who can actually hit 10 out of 10 and you don't want to be around him.
I mean, like if you're rejected all the time by like dimes, 8s and 9s, you would kind of figure out that what level you're at. Pretty much, you would kind of like stay in your lane. And I think most guys come to that realization, and they kind of are okay with that.
Well,
yeah, but here's the thing: if you're rejected by dimes, 8 and 9s all the time, you already know you shooting shots that don't work because the dimes didn't do it, the 9s didn't do it, and the 8s didn't do it.
Right, but that's why I'm saying, how can you feel entitled if you getting rejected by them all the time?
Hold on, Leo.
Because you're trying to win a lotto.
Well, let me get in here because what Leo, you're forgetting to understand is you don't know why she's rejecting you. She could actually have a boyfriend. She could actually be married. She could actually just got a relationship and not looking. There's so many reasons why that you're not considering the reason why she's rejecting you. She may not be rejecting you just because she like, she may have just woke up and had a bad day and said, I don't want to talk to nobody. You don't really know why. So you can't really take the rejection as like, you can't take it personally.
Yeah, it's all subjective.
No, I'm not taking the rejection personally. I'm just saying that I don't see how men feel entitled to more than what they can get because you kind of know what you can get over time.
Well, let me interject on this point.
Go ahead.
Have you taken into consideration that women know when a guy is trying to holler at her for a notch on his belt? They know that already. Just like if a girl, if you feel like you winning in life, you see a woman approaching you, you know she's coming at you because you winning.
Yeah, but
that
women
in itself is eternal.
Women will know a guy is like only talking to them for sex, but be delusional and think she can change his mind and make him want her. So that's entitlement
women also
right
play
there
hard
to me.
to get too. Women also play hard to get if they think that you're just trying to get with them to sleep with them. Sometimes women believe that if they make it a little difficult for you, some women enjoy the chase, so they play hard to get to.
Are these women dimes?
Yeah,
Quote unquote.
I'm talking
Are they
about
are you talking about the quote unquote dimes?
Yes.
Okay, well they as they should, because I guess they have a whole shit ton of dudes trying to stick their penis in them.
Y'all really want to know what dimes do?
Are they supposed to be just like, oh yeah, all is welcome?
Right.
This is what dimes actually do. Dimes actually get up off their keister and approach guys who are actually winners. So for you to think that you're gonna approach a dime, okay, if you was a dime and you looking across the landscape, a dime talks to men. She does. But she's like, okay, he's the man in this. He's the man that everybody wants to be with. That's why when guys normally got jealous of guys being in the club, it was because somebody came in who his reputation preceded him, and all the dimes made themselves available to him.
It was a rap.
Real quick,
dimes approach men. You just not.
But like most guys are like intimidated by dimes. Like I know some chicks who are dimes.
No.
And they say that they rarely get approached because most guys are like afraid to talk to them.
Most guys are intimidated by the guy that dimes are used to.
Thank you.
Let's let Pablo get in there real quick.
I'm sorry, Pablo.
This is really interesting.
Hey, hold on one second. Concrete Rose. Hey, I actually got to hop off. I just want to say, appreciate. This is a great discussion. Appreciate for y'all. Appreciate y'all having me up, and I'll definitely be on next time.
Thank you for coming up.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you. You provided a different perspective. Feel free to join us anytime.
Thank you so much.
All right. So here's my question for Complex. Complex, you used an example of when a woman sees a guy and she says he was attractive until he opened his mouth, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Why didn't she say his personality sucked and then I saw that he was handsome?
Because I was making a point here. That
but see, what we were talking to is the generality, right?
Wait, I kind of actually missed what you were saying because I thought you were asking me a question.
I was, and I'm about to bring it around. Okay.
Wait. Are you asking me? Are you asking for me to answer it?
Go ahead.
Well, that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to answer it. Well, okay. So you said something about how women say he was fine until he opened his mouth.
Yeah. Why don't they do the reverse? Why don't they say his personality sucked and then I saw he was handsome or he was attractive?
Why don't they do the reverse?
Yes. Why don't they lead with his personality sucked, but he was cute?
His personality sucked, but he was cute. Well, typically, I mean, I don't know. I asked Concrete Rose that, and she even confirmed that that's what women typically say. So I don't know why they don't say the opposite.
Why they don't say it is because that's a part of human psychology. People lead with their eyes first.
Of course. That was my whole point about the dime thing. That's why I said all you have to do is reverse it. Women do the same thing that men do. So I said, in my view, just because a woman looks good, that doesn't mean she's like a quality woman or worthy of what I consider a dime. And what I did was I reversed that schism to prove a point. When women say, well, he looked good until he opened his mouth. That was
okay. So you're saying that particular generality doesn't apply to you, that you don't lead with your eyes first. You're looking for other stuff first, right?
Yeah, I look for compatibility. That's why I always speak on sapiosexualism.
You're the exception. You're not the rule.
I know, I understand this, but the whole thing is that there is nuance to this. So as long as people think in terms of generalities and don't think that there is nuance to a lot of this stuff, then here's what they'll do. They'll not think that there's nuance, and as a result of this, they may not actually pick up on subtleties that a woman may actually be giving them signs and signals, but because they're believing in this social media picture that's been painted of interpersonal relationships in between the genders, then I guess you're going to get what you get, right?
Yeah,
Now,
but
now, now,
complex
Pablo,
with
but
300
you
people
want,
in the
but I
room,
know.
we can't speak to complex design
No,
sapiosexually.
no, you can't, but I can. And if you can take something away from what I'm saying, great. If not, discard it. That's why I'm like, look, if you want to know more about my position,
Well,
I do live streams on it. So you can actually get a deep dive on it if you're really interested. But if not, I mean, Concrete Rose and Danielle, they asked me to come up and share my position sometimes. So I mean, Jesus, really?
can I interject? I understand what Complex is saying. Like, looks doesn't mean everything to every guy. Because me, I don't even care about how good a chick looks. She just got to be attractive and have a good personality and be a good woman for me, and I'm fine with that.
You know,
I think some dudes kind of like look at that as the whole package, not just how good she looks in the face.
I just want to make a point here. Like, look, if I play up things like compatibility, friendship, cooperate. If I play up all of these non-physical things, right? That doesn't mean that automatically is going to come in an unattractive package. Like that's why I said you kind of do women a disservice when you do that. You really do. You're kind of not kind of reducing. I don't know, man. Like I said, my wife was a really dope chick. I've met other dope women, and they were attractive too, but they didn't play up all that other shit, man. And that's all I'm saying, man. It's just like to just go general, then you're just really kind of writing people off that really shouldn't be written off. And I say this on the reverse side of things. I've come up here and I've challenged Concrete Rose, Danielle, all the women up here. I said, look, why the fuck do you guys ignore dudes that actually, from a mental standpoint, have the ability to be the provider and the this and the this and the that and all that kind of stuff? Why do you guys? It cuts both ways.
I respect it. Maybe everybody got the clarity that they needed on your commentary complex, because I didn't take it as though you were speaking for anyone else except for yourself. I thought you were giving your personal standard as it relates to what you consider a quote unquote dime. So I think that everybody seems to understand what you were saying now, and maybe we can move on from this specific point.
Thanks. Yeah.
Intellectual integrity. How did we move the goalposts?
Honey, all we do is sit here and have
enlighten us. I mean,
Can I ask a real question about this? And anybody can answer.
Sure.
How many guys have been with a woman that other people said was a dime in the first place?
Get out of there, LAR.
It's not all as cracked up to be, because
it's not, man.
Because some of them have like issues. Some of them, have trauma they went through. Some of them are really entitled and spoiled. Some of them are like lazy as fuck in a relationship because they're used to the guy just doing everything. Some of them are used to just getting their way all the time. So, I mean, they're a headache.
What I'm saying is, you lie for every 100 men. How many of those? What percentage of those? How many in that 100 would actually have dated a dime that the other people like? Yeah, that's a dime.
Save yourself, black woman. Oh my God.
But LAR, that's like my point. Like dimes, they're very picky, and most men know that they can't get them, so they don't even bother with them.
I get what you're saying. What I'm getting at is, if people sit, okay, let me slow down and say it rudely. There are a lot of people who've been dating 5, 6s, and 7s and saying that they was dimes so they can get in a dime conversation. That's what's been going on. It's not people been out here dating dimes. You've been dating a nickel and you counted it twice.
That was rude.
That's true, because there's some dudes who front like that's all they date. I only dated one dime. I was lucky enough, but she just happened to be into like chocolate dudes. So I only had one. I can't say that I bagged many.
But if you dated 20 women, that would be what? You get what I'm saying? 5%.
I've been.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they're rare, and plus I dated one and I found it out that she wasn't, everything I cracked up to be. So that's
Right. So
why
look,
I stopped caring about how good a woman looks.
that's why they're a dime a dozen. Okay, because like all you're doing is just playing up a physical feature. That's it. I was in a relationship with one for 2.5 years. It was hell. Okay, what I found was that ain't it. All that, it's a physical feature. It's just but one part.
It's not just a physical feature though. We're not being honest about, okay, you could say dime 25 to 18. When you go 26 to 60, that dime population, it drops off the cliff dramatically.
And LAR, that's why as a 43-year-old man, I had to come up here and preface all of this by saying, look, in my view, a dime is a quality woman. Right? I mean, because of
Danny,
everything
can you
that
drop the link
said.
for Kevin Samuels?
Well, that's why I kept saying that dudes are okay with settling with a chick that's not a dime. That's why they're not really entitled like that.
Well, I mean, what are you saying? That's the
But
thing, man.
I understand. No, but Complex, I understand for you, you define a dime as a woman that's a whole package as far as looks and personality. I'm talking about a dime as far as looks. Because once you get older and mature, looks don't really mean shit, because their personality, does come into play. So, that's what I'm saying.
That too can be deceiving. And this is where I think Complex might have a point. Okay. When I was in college, I had this crush on this girl.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't tell me if she wasn't a dime, she was close to it in my mind's eye. But my roommates called her Blowfish.
Right.
Oh.
What's going on, people?
So until their input, I never saw her as a Blowfish. But over time, I was like, maybe they had a point or whatever. But to me, she was beautiful, right? So that kind of slide. Now, of course, there are always people who are quote unquote classically beautiful, and Kevin talks about this all the time. Those are the supermodel chicks, right?
Mm-hmm.
But for the average Joe, sometimes there's an area in there where you find someone super attractive that other people just don't see.
Right. Hey, what's up, Kevin?
Good point. Hey, Kevin. Welcome to the panel.
Hey, Kevin.
Uh-oh. What just happened?
This stream shit, boy.
I'm gonna fall back, guys.
Yeah, he just dropped off. I think he's having connection problems.
Thank you, Pablo. Was there anyone else who wanted to chime in? We'll see if he comes back up.
Yeah, I was waiting to hear
what conversation.
Yeah, what Kevin had to say. I mean, I like I said, I just want to reiterate, like I'm in the land of tens, right, out here in LA, and like that beauty shit. It's kind of like if you ever like see these chicks on if you see these chicks on a regular day when they're not on, like let's say they're going to the grocery store to buy something. It's kind of like, without the makeup and all that, it's said, you know what I mean? It's like there's what you see presented in media, and then there's what you see on a daily. And what you need to do is to see if there is some alignment with the physical attributes that you see, and then the non-physical attributes that should line up with that to make that person a quote unquote 9 or a 10 or whatever.
All right. How you doing?
Hey, Kevin. Go ahead.
When magazines, cars, motorcycles, luxury items are sold, and they put women who are quote unquote dimes on ads, we're doing it because of a physical standard.
Of course.
So when most people talk about dimes, it's a physical standard. What makes a woman a dime is her attractiveness. Universally, it's her attractiveness. There's always be nuance, but in general, I think we have to be realistic and say that's where it comes from. Now, what makes the whole thing is about what makes you feel like you're entitled to a dime? I'm going to say the only way you're going to get it. But if you are young,
between the ages of 16 and 23. That's when a guy who has little to no money, if he meets her physical imprint, you can get a dime much more easily when you're around college age. But after college, it becomes far more difficult for an average earning guy to get a dime consistently because the competition increases around her exponentially. I've had many dimes in my life. I don't date anything under 8s. And I will tell you that I'm entitled to a dime because, one, I meet their physical imprint. That's what entitles me to it, because I meet the physical imprint. But then, two, I also have the other stuff too. I have the income, the education, the pedigree, whatever, but I have to work to get that. Now, most guys want to be with a beautiful woman, but to be entitled to one, the only way you're going to be entitled to one is if you meet her standard of what a dime is for her. Now, there are women who will get with guys on the side because he makes a physical imprint, but rarely do you find true dimes or even just beautiful women deciding to actively, publicly couple with a guy beneath her. Now, sadly, this happens. Well, I'll leave it there. I'll put it there. So, another thing about the dime thing too. Look, man, it's an aspiration for most guys, but the whole move, the whole vibe to speak to a woman on that level is something most guys just don't want to deal with because one, she's intimidating to most people. And then number two, the men that are around her can generally outperform you in every key area. So what separates you is really her decision to decide which one she wants to pick. So you really can't be, when you're truly a dime, it's hard for anybody to be entitled to you because you got so many damn options.
Agreed.
So, no, it's good shit.
Absolutely. Thank you. You broke it down. And I did just want to touch on something really quickly. Essentially what we were saying and our premise was just that, feeling like you've attained some sort of financial success is not the only qualifier, that basically your focus should be on your whole package as a man, just like a woman who's seeking a high value man, her focus would need to be on her whole package.
Yeah. And see, and one of the biggest, I know Xanatos is down there. One of the biggest disconnects I see with guys today is thinking because they've achieved a certain amount of financial freedom or success, that automatically puts them in the category of, I don't want to say entitling to, but they feel like they're in a conversation. And it's all relative. I mean, you make $150,000, but that's, I'm in New York City right now, and $150,000 is what some people make in a day here. And when you really start understanding that the money piece for a man is a qualifier, but it's also the broadest measurement. You can make $300,000 a year, and you stand next to a $10 million a year dude, and
you ain't making
you know that you ain't making shit. But when a dime stands next to a dime, there's not that big of a difference between them. And see, that's why guys got to realize that it requires more for us to become the quote unquote total package, but we also have a longer lifespan. A dime is only a dime between the ages of 18 and 25. 26 to 30, it's a different evaluation. 30 to 40, a different evaluation. And you can still be very attractive. I rate women on my channel often who are over 35, who are still attractive, but what you have to imagine is what was she like when she was her 22-year-old self. So I think we all pretty much understand what it comes down to. But here's the last point. As somebody who's dated beautiful women, look, everything has a cost, and I will go down in beauty to go up in cooperation and compatibility. If and now it's probably easy. Some guys probably say, "Well, that's easy for you to say because you've had this."
Wait, Kevin, that. Can you repeat what you just said? Can you repeat that?
I would go down in beauty to go up in cooperation and compatibility.
Interesting. Very interesting. Elaborate, please.
I mean, well, because I mean, there's no after sex, and after that, there's really not much there. But I can say that because one, many guys will look and say, well, it's easy for you to say because of all the women you've dealt with, all of them fit into the upper end of the category. I've never had it. It's like, okay, if you've always had to ride bicycles, or you always had to get cars of a certain caliber, and then all of a sudden now you can start affording to get 5 Series BMW, 6 Series BMWs. It's going to be a newer experience to you. Versus if you've been able to get this from earlier on, the special is worn off. Last point I'm gonna run. Black people, we must stop short-term mating strategies. It's stupid. Long-term, we're the only group. We're the group that overhypes youth, beauty, and short-term shit versus long-term. You know, when they're over 50, ain't nobody really a dime. And I did a show last night that I had to take down because, look, I'm in New York. This city is a ghost town, and I'm looking at beautiful, educated, professional sisters walking down the street unattached. This whole notion of we need to be on this level, that level, when there ain't no clubs for 40 years and up. Where do we go? We supposed to be in the house watching Netflix. We are all out of alignment, so you know, ain't nobody entitled to a dime because a dime ain't worth 10 cents if you ain't got nobody to share your life with. How about that?
Well, goddamn, Kevin.
Oh wow,
Kevin, before you go, I just want to let you know I'm glad you finally getting your due in this space. That's it.
I appreciate it, man. I gotta hit these streets, but I'm gonna be listening. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. We appreciate you. That was a mic drop right there.
Wow, you know,
Yeah.
I don't.
Wow,
Hey, I thought.
Thank
I
you,
think
Kevin.
kinda,
He pretty much said what I've been saying the whole screen. Men are more realistic about what they can get dating wise. If you want a dime as a man, you do realize you got to put in the work to get them, not just money wise, but even as far as like looks. And then just being social.
I don't think you paid attention to that last point.
I'm getting there. But he also said that he was willing to go down in looks for cooperation, which again, men are willing to, you know, curve a 10 for a 8 that has a better attitude. So
yeah,
you know,
and that's
by
kind of
that
the
measure,
point that JK
you cannot
said.
say
And
that.
Leo, you did say that earlier too.
By that measure, you can't really say that men feel like they're entitled. We realize we got to put in the work to get that. And even then, if she's not what we want as far as like her character, we don't care that she's attractive like that.
But again, we're not talking about all men. Like I want to make sure we're talking about a certain group of men who feel as though they're entitled. So we're not saying all black men feel as though they're entitled to a dime. We know that's not true. Come on, like seriously. You know,
how
none
big
of the
is that?
average looking women would be coupled up.
The LAR.
Let me just, I'm going to just say it because I ain't even going to ask it. I was about to ask it. People assume that they're a dime because they're like a big fish in a small pond and they haven't really been to where the big ponds are. Right. Yeah, you could be a dime in Alabama, but that ain't Miami. That ain't New York. That ain't LA. That ain't Houston. That ain't Dallas. That ain't Chicago. So what winds up happening is, this goes for men and women. Oh, I'm the cream of the crop where you at right now. But if you went to where everybody is at, where you got that concentration at, now you're gonna know where you really stand. And some people, that's the same thing with I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, and you're just only that for the age that you are.
Sometimes it's not even just the age. It's you notice how some people do this thing where you got a dime in college. But when you left that college town, you couldn't get a dime no more. You know what I'm saying? Or you got a dime in, you know, the finest girl in your city at the time. But when you moved and went to a different city, you couldn't get a woman that was comparative on that level now. You couldn't get the finest girl in the city or the area like you did in your hometown.
Mm-hmm.
And people go, oh, you know what I'm saying? I was with such and such. Yeah, you was with such and such, but okay, you was with them in Birmingham. Now, when you moved your ass to Atlanta, was you with that same such and such?
Yeah, the same goes for women.
Yeah, I'm just keeping it both ways. That's what I'm saying. It's like people want to play that game knowing that you could be a dime, you know, you could be a dime in Opelousas, you know, but are you gonna actually be? Yeah,
I feel like I was far more select in Chicago than I was in LA, than I've ever been in LA.
Yeah, far more select in Mississippi than I am in Atlanta. Makes sense.
What you talking about?
Absolutely. I come from a small town, so
no, but it's true. Like if I went to certain cities, I don't get as much attention as if I go to other cities, and it's true.
Yeah. So that's why I said that the whole
it
dime
happens
thing and all
across
that.
the board. Yeah.
Yeah, it's subjective. It really is.
Like I personally,
there are so many variables that have to be considered. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Danny.
And shout out to Pablo for the Cash App. We really, really appreciate it.
Thanks, Pablo.
I grew up in New Orleans, the DMV, and Chicago as a kid to a teenager, right? See, I know people who never left because of that very reason. You could be the man or woman in the space that you at, and it can grow over the years per se because your reputation is right there. You can keep building that up. But if they leave, they go from somebody to nobody immediately. And this is where, you know, a lot of people get things twisted. Like, oh, if I go back home, I'm the man. But you ain't shit right here though. So, you know, people have this ego thing about who's great and who's not.
Mm-hmm.
It don't.
You know, I think too, though, that Kevin hit on something that's really big that we don't talk about, well, that we haven't talked about this show. The fact that, you know, we are so stuck on the superficial and the trivial. And I know that is kind of what Complex talks about, what he used to talk about when he would come up and challenge us. Yeah,
kind of. That's what my live streams are about.
Right,
no, I'm saying that's what my live streams are about.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just do think that, you know, that is a missing part. Like, first of all, you know, looks and beauty does fade. I mean, you can maintain your health and you can, you know, try as hard as you can to look good for a 40-year-old, but you're never going to look as good as you did when you were 21, you know? So I think that is something to consider, and that it's important to keep in mind that, yeah, you know, she met, and this goes back to Complex's point again. She may be a dime in physical appearance. She may be absolutely beautiful, but what substance does she have? Like what you know, what does she have that she's offering aside from being a beautiful woman? And that's something important to consider. But it also, to our point, yeah, he may be successful in his career, but what else does he offer? Does he offer, you know, protection? Does he, well, you know, he's going to offer protection and security, but what other things, you know, that you're looking for, or things that you find important to a character, to the character of a man, does he have? Does he embody? All of that is important. And, you know, the superficial, or the things that are flexible, you know, that are outside of his character, his looks, the type of car that he drives, can come and go. But those things that are specific to him and his character as a person are what's going to stay and what's going to sustain the relationship should you guys hit a rough patch. So it's important to make sure that we're focusing on those things, in addition to making sure that you're physically attracted to someone.
Unfortunately,
yeah,
the vast majority of men and women are not going to get past superficiality until they can finally get the guy or the girl that at a certain point to look past superficiality. People are doing the fantasy dating that, you know, I couldn't get them back in the day. Let me get them now. And until I can get them, I can't move forward. Because a lot of this stuff is actually,
that's a good point.
You know, that's what a lot of that stuff is. Until I can get her, you know, don't tell me nothing yet.
But if you think about it, like, guys, just like women, you grew up feeling like being able to bag the baddest woman, gives you a certain level of status. So you want to ensure that you can achieve that. And sometimes you look past the fact that her character sucks just so you can say, I got a bad chick on my arm.
Let me be cold and say this. You could get the baddest chick and then you can't handle her sexually and it hurts your ego. So now you back to square one. And now you got to do it with another chick.
Yeah.
This is where people have the issue. Like, I want the baddest chick, but what I really want to do, I want to be her, what would you call, what did they say? That I want to be her imprint.
Her speck of gold?
Oh, wow, really? Where'd that come from?
Wait, what? What did he say?
He said Splackavelli. You telling your age.
Oh shit.
The late millennials are probably like, wait, what is that?
The hell?
That's what winds up happening. Guys, I've known it too often. A guy be like, I got her. And then she wear him out. And then it's like, back to the drawing board. I didn't get the bad one yet, so now I gotta go back. So this whole aspect is, until you get them and get them to do what you want the way you want it, you're gonna keep starting over and over again. That's why the women out here looking for ballers. I'm gonna get a baller that's crazy about me. Didn't work with that one. That's why you was a side chick. Now we gotta start all the way over.
Ugh, man.
That is a good point, LAR, and we appreciate you with your one-liners that you fit into your commentary. But we'll go ahead. We're going to go ahead and start the process to wrap things up. So if we can start with Leo Anthony, and then we'll move it along. If you can give us your final comments on the topic, Leo.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
So what I can conclude is that yes, most guys like desire dimes, but most guys do not feel like they're entitled to them because they do realize that they have to put in work and meet a certain criteria in order to even get one. But at the same time, like, looks don't mean everything because you may get a dime, and then, as LAR said, you find out that you don't want her or you can't handle her. So, I think, the most important thing is to really look at the person as an entire package and not get stuck on their looks.
Good point. And I agree wholeheartedly. Thank you, brother. We appreciate you coming up as always. And then, Sheed, what are your final comments on the topic?
Basically, I wanted to say this earlier that pretty much with dealing with guys who so-called have money, they're not worrying about what the dime can do. It's more along the lines of appearance, because you got to understand back to like with the whole situation with Kamala, the guy Willie, he was married, but he always had Kamala on his arm. The whole thing was it was a status thing. It wasn't the whole point that he needed her to be beautiful and clean and everything. At the end of the day, he needed her as a status. His wife probably didn't foot the bill. That's why he got hurt. So all these guys talking about when you had like high value, in some cases, most of the men, they know they can't qualify for these women. They know they don't deserve these women, but they know with that money, most of the women will fall in line and do pretty much whatever they want. But my closing statements, I want to say at the end of the day, like I tell men, I tell women, we have to work together to, make things work for the collective. We have to start having ourselves being held accountable for certain values. If men want to be held to a high standard, we need to start only dating women of substance. Same thing with it cries to the women.
Oh, yes.
Women find men of substance. Don't sit here and mess with a guy because you're horny. Don't mess with a guy because he's cute. I once ran across a lady. She had sex with a man just because he had tattoos.
Wow.
And
Wow.
that was disturbing to me. You know, and it wasn't like an area I generally, just be typically be around. But the whole point, just to see most people of that stature deal with people only because those little small things, it was disturbing. But that's my closing statement.
Thank you. Thank you. We really appreciate you. This was your first time coming up on the panel, and I enjoyed your commentary. Please come back and join us again.
Yeah, I actually been on different channels. I heard both you ladies speak, but Smooth actually, I talked to him a lot, and he always talks about Sister George and stuff like that. So we talk
Thank you.
little
Well,
things in the
Shout
back.
out to Smooth.
right.
Thank you.
Yeah, cool, brother.
Thanks
I'm a
again,
hood
Sheed.
dude.
And Complex, the sapiosexual. What are your final comments on the topic?
Well, thank you guys for letting me come up here and correct you.
Oh, wow.
My God. Actually, I also appreciate Kevin for coming up here and basically saying what I had initially prefaced my whole thing on, is that really a dime would be a quality woman. You said, look, I'll date down in beauty to get cooperation and compatibility. And as a sapiosexual, I always say compatibility is the most important thing. When you aim for that, you'll get the other shit. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's why I was really sort of pushing back on this whole notion of what a quote unquote dime is, and why we basically miss the mark when we objectify and we put a very base level attribute, right, that has a tendency to fade over time as like the primary thing to like look for. Like, you're gonna strike out every time. One other thing, I was planning to go live in about maybe 45 minutes or an hour or so. I was planning on doing it anyway. I would welcome you guys to join me for a live stream, or do you guys mind if I post a link or anything?
Oh, please do. We would appreciate that.
Oh,
Right,
okay, cool
please.
deal. Oh, thank you. Yeah, so I was gonna, and I had that kind of plan for, midday today because it's raining and, that's rare in California. So I just figured I'd do a live stream. But I appreciate you guys for having me up once again.
Thank
Thank
you.
you
You're
so
always
much.
welcome, Complex. You know we enjoy you. You guys make sure to go and check out Complex's live stream. I know that it's going to be interesting, and I'm going to check it out too. I'm actually like, I didn't want to wrap up the show, but I have so much stuff to do regarding, finishing laundry and cooking dinner and all that good stuff. But I'll be listening to, whoever is live. While I'm doing that. But I just wanted to say this was a dope show. Like, the conversation was just really, really good.
Wait a minute. Read your super chats
Oh,
first. Shout out
go
to
ahead.
BAP. She said, "Hate I missed the show. Peace, ladies. Thank you so much,
Thank you,
BAP."
dear.
And shout out to Leo Anthony. He says, "Thanks for having me. Great stream. Thank you so much."
Thanks,
And
Leo.
shout out to Shui Celeste for the for the Cash App. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much,
Shuey.
Leo. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate y'all. Yeah, this was just a real good conversation. Just really, I really enjoyed it all the way through. So thank you to everybody who participated in the conversation. We had a few people that I've never heard from on the panel, or that we've never had on the panel. Dennis and Sheed and Complex always coming through, and LAR, some real good dope sound perspectives were given. Leo, definitely Kevin Samuels for coming through and blessing us too. We appreciate you all, and like I said, this was a dope conversation. I hate to have to wrap it up, but I agree with a lot of the sentiments that were shared. I especially think that we do focus entirely too much on things that are not specific to a person's character. I think that yes, we want someone that we're physically attracted to. We want someone who is a hard worker, that we, meaning women, will receive a sense of security from, knowing that he's going to work hard and that he's going to provide, and all of the things that are specific to what women look for in a partner. That's important, but we don't want to look beyond understand, the true nature of who he is as a man. That's extremely important. And, I think that it's interesting to hear the men say how important they find, cooperation, femininity, a woman with a good attitude and pleasant to be around, which are things that would be specific to a woman's character. And we talk so much and kind of gloss over the fact that, oh, men only care about if she got a big butt or, all these physical attributes, but we're hearing men, a variety of men say, no, those aren't the only things that are important. I would forego a bit of that if I could have, a bit of the things that are true to a woman with good character. So like I said, this was just a real good conversation. I enjoyed it. Thanks again to everybody who joined the panel. Thanks to everybody who super chatted and everybody in the chat. That's all I got.
Okay. Well, thank you so much to everybody for coming out. This was really a good show. I enjoyed the conversation. I've been on the move, so I hadn't been able to participate as much, but I've definitely been present and listening in. But thank you to everybody who joined, everybody who super chatted us, everybody who sent the Cash App. We really, really, really appreciate the support, and everybody who just came through in the chat. Thank you guys so much for coming through. It's always humbling to see everybody to come rock with us. So hopefully you guys enjoy your Sunday and have a great start to the week. And we will see you guys back here. And we're doing the show from
We'll put something up in advance to let you guys know, but we will see you guys on Wednesday. So we'll let you guys know. We'll put something on our community tab early to let you guys know what time the show will be jumping off on Wednesday.
Okay. Well, everybody have a great rest of your week because it's almost over, and a great start to your week. And we'll see you guys on Wednesday. We're out.
Peace out, Black people.